going to grab my phone because I forgot to do that. Check on the YouTube to make sure we're live. Hey, everyone, let us know if we live.
Are we live? Are we alive? Is this real life?
Definitely past some time. All right, my phone says we live, so we should be live. Hello, everyone. So let us see who all is here. I see Rowan and Tori. Oh, hey, the gay Raven's here.
My favorite kind of raven.
Bisexual witch as fuck. You subscribed like today, and your screen name had originally confused me because it popped up at the bottom of my laptop, and it was like bisexual witch as fuck, and I'm like, is that a book? Did I order that? What's going on here?
I love that.
I love the name. Yeah, it's a thing. A thing is happening. Enjoy the banter of chat and roulette. Yep. Everyone is ready to write. I went to click off of that and it popped all the way up to the top. So hello, everyone. We are live. We're good. Looks like we have a good number of people here. Welcome to the live stream.
Now I'm like, maybe I should check. Maybe I should be aware since I am here. Hold on. Curious.
So, Fatima says it is 1 a.m. but ready.
Yes, right. That's what we like.
Hey, Rowan. There we go. Jesse says, Jenna.
Hi, Jesse.
Fuck yeah. No, Jenna, we are not. Hey, everyone. All right, I've had this tab. We appreciate your dedication because I have not been here for 3 hours.
No, neither have I.
We had a storm earlier and the children were not appreciating that. So I was just like under children for an hour while Chris did some errands.
She was momming. I had a neuro appointment for Cliff. So I was at his neuro appointment watching neurology happen.
She was also caregiving.
Yes.
Throws bra full of balls for butter.
Yes! That's the best kind of bra. I don't wear bras, so that's the only bra. Yeah, the only good bra is a bra full of balls for butters. Who would be in this stream right now, but she's being a nuisance, so I kicked her out. I'm sorry.
All she wanted to do was kiss Jenna. She wasn't listening to anything else.
I picked her up and she was just all over my face.
She was like, Mom. Just like my children when they want something.
Right.
Oh, it's also 1 a.m. for the gay Raven. All right, so Jenna, go ahead. So Jenna, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, hello, everyone. My name is Jenna Moreci. I am as of recently, a #1 best-selling author. I'm still so excited. Okay, so I'm a #1 best-selling dark fantasy author, as well as a YouTuber over on my channel, Writing with Jenna Moreci. I give lots of writing and publishing advice, as well as a healthy dose of sarcasm and dick jokes and salacious humor. So if you want to learn more about that, just go to youtube.com/Jenna Moreci. And like I said, I am also a sci-fi and dark fantasy writer. My upcoming dark fantasy romance novel, The Savior's Sister, is coming out in September. If you pre-order it now, you can participate in my pre-sale giveaway. Everyone who participates gets a 5-chapter teaser of TSS, and you get to be eligible to win a bunch of prizes. Last I checked, I had over 35 prizes, so lots of prizes going around. It's all a good time. That's who I am, and that's what I'm about.
The teaser's good. The book's great. The pre-orders are awesome.
Sam was one of my beta readers. She is amazing, and I adore the crap out of her. So she knows what she's talking about because she's read it.
I do.
She read the whole thing.
I read it in beta, and then I reread the arc. So I am quite the expert. And for those of you who are new and joining us, I am Writing Mom Samantha L. Nasset. This is my channel. I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer parent things. I also post samples of my writing up on my website because it's going to be like an eternity before I publish anything. You know, mom life. All right. So, everybody, tell us what you are working on tonight. I am going to be working on the outline for my whip that I'm having an existential crisis about, but that's fine. Don't worry about that.
Well, first, I wanted to say that I am not a mom, and it still took me an eternity to get my first book out. That's just how it goes. So, for anyone who's working on their debut novel, the first one takes 1,000,000 years. Just accept it. Yes. Take it in that this is going to take 1,000,000 years and then move on. You know, just accept the reality.
And accept.
Yeah. Yes. As for what I'm working on, I haven't decided if I'm going to work on TSA, which is the third book in the Savior series, or if I'm going to script some video content. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. So the video content is a more practical choice because I have to film next week, but TSA is like what the heart wants.
Yes. You know? I am ignoring practice because I should script, but I'm like, no, I haven't worked on that outline in like a month, so I'm gonna do that for my soul.
Right.
All right. Also, while everybody's telling us what you're working on, also, like, what kind of timer do you guys want today? Do we want to go with the bomb timer again? I want to say the rainbow timer, but nobody seems to actually enjoy the rainbow timer.
I don't think I'm familiar with the rainbow timer. Sorry.
It's just kind of a rainbow, and then at the end there's like bright colors and everything. But I apparently have a very violent, destructive audience who enjoys the explosions. I'm not really upset by this. Just an observation.
It just makes sense given our proclivities. So.
Right. I like the video in my like trope, this week's video is Nope Tropes of Fantasy. And one of my Nope Tropes has to do with pacifism. And I was like, it may come as a shock to everyone, but I am not a pacifist. So everyone's surprised to hear that.
Right. That is shocking news.
It is. Are we sorry to have startled you? I've done that though, where I'm like, well, this live stream will start eventually, and then I'm doing other things, and then I'm like, oh god, people exist. Oh, where was that coming from? Oh, gotta scroll back up because it refresh. I hate when the chat refreshes and then it takes me all the way to the bottom. I'm like, there was stuff I probably wanted to respond to. Oh,
I just realized that.
Jenna.
Aww. Thank you, Jesse.
You may keep talking. I'm just flashing Jenna love.
Oh no! I just realized that I'm wearing like what I was wearing all day, like as my comfy like PJ clothes, and I didn't change this.
I mean, like
Pegasus life,
girl.
Yes!
That's all I wear on my live streams. It's just my pajamas.
Okay,
it's like
we're twins.
When I was doing Savvy Streams Weekly, and they were like, "Let's start doing pajama parties." I was like,
I mean, how is that different?
What I've been doing.
Right. What has changed? Nothing.
Yep.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. Hi, Matt.
I thought you were going to say sci-fi nerd. Well, she is that as well.
Yeah, I can be multiple things.
All the things.
Oh, yes, thank you.
I agree. Do it. That's fair. My best friend, actually, he's like, I don't know if I should read them now or if I should wait. And I'm like, I can't.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe just like read very slowly. Like read the first chapter. Yeah, like 1 page a day, and then just make it last.
Yes, pre-order. Hey, BC, welcome. Hey, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Avery. Ah, yeah, we love you too. All right,
Yes.
Kylie. Ooh, I see a witchy short story. You have my attention.
Right?
I'm writing a fanfic that's fun and relaxing. Oh, I remember those days. You can take that for either fanfic or fun and relaxing.
I know. I was gonna say, what's relaxing? Who is she? I've never heard of her. I've never met her. Relaxing? Am I saying
Hey,
that
mister.
right?
We haven't seen each other in a decade.
Is it with a rolled R? Relaxing? I don't know what that is.
She
I'm sorry.
doesn't return my phone calls anymore. I like had an hour to relax today, and I was like, let me just relax. And anxiety went, and I was like, fuck you. I was trying to relax. What is your problem?
Yeah, your body is like, no, you're supposed to work. And then it's like,
I'm sorry. Did you say relax? You've got like emails and an outline and a video. And I mean, I know this is like your only hour to yourself today, but you could be doing something.
right. Yeah.
Oh. Politics scene.
Ooh.
And
Bomb-ass
CPing
script.
some bomb-ass script. I'm either going to a dark fantasy novel of the dragon or a script from my first video. Both of these are exciting.
I know.
Skillshare. Oh, Skillshare class. I love me some Skillshare. How to capture and develop your book idea.
I'm working on a new Skillshare class as well. What's it about? I don't know. I do know. That's the lie.
How dare you lie on my live stream? I'm working on draft number 6. That is the special draft for paranormal stories.
That is the blessed draft. The blessed draft of the dark overlord.
That's where you fix all the things.
Mm-hmm. You have to sell your soul.
Should I outline it? What you do is you get a 3-sided die and you roll it. Or no, 4-sided die. Get a 6-sided die and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Just get some kind of die. A die that does its thing.
Rolls. I'm working on a Swan Lake retelling for an anthology. Oh, that's cool. It's required. Yeah. It's required to have a dragon per submission guide. A Swan Lake retelling with a dragon.
Maybe she turns into a dragon.
Oh, is she a swan that turns into a dragon or a princess that turns into a dragon? I need to know details.
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter so long as there's a dragon. Don't listen to me. I'm drunk.
There's just so many ways. I'm working on writing my D&D character's backstory. It's probably going to turn into a long story because he has some stuff going on. That tends to happen with D&D characters. My kids went to bed now. Oh, well, mine are still running around over there. And now I'm doing a complete overhaul of my first act of book 1. Yeah. I'm working on an adventure fanfic for
Zelda. That's your favorite, right?
Yes, this is actually a Zelda hoodie.
Yes! And you have the Zelda tattoo?
I have like 3. I've got this. Well, hold on. I'm going to flash people. I've got this one. And then this one. Now. Hold on.
Yes,
Let's see if I'm that flexible at the moment. Sir. Now. And then we've got this one.
Woo! Sexy lady.
It's a good thing I'm freshly shaved.
I am not.
I use like Zelda to symbolize all of the important things in my life. But yes, just slide me that link right there.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a break from Ghost Hunter Fever Dream, Act 1 is done. Awesome. Working on a novella. We love it. Oh, Jesse's working on editing the mess of a section that he needs fixing. Oh, you were telling me about that earlier.
Hey, that's part of the editing process. It's okay. At least it's getting fixed. Don't focus on the mess. Focus on the fact that you have grown and you are improving.
Exactly. Also, Sunita is going to be right there with you.
We've all been there. Eventually, I promise, once you go further along, eventually you can chop Stevens and it won't hurt. I promise. Eventually it becomes like, yeah, chopping, and then you don't care. It takes a while. Sorry.
For her, it's okay. For her, I sent it to one of my CPs, and they were like, Sam, you did all this telling everywhere. And I was like, my God, I should know better. This is from like 5 years ago. And I literally cried because I'm like, I should know better. So there you go, everybody. It's just, it's normal.
It's normal. Yeah, it's normal. It happens. It's fine. That's what the first drafts are for. Okay, guys? It's for you to basically poop on the page, and then you gotta work with the poop. Okay.
Oh yeah, and it's so much better now. There's also murder in it now, so
that's automatically better.
It is. Brainstorming a YANA, still trying to figure out dark urban fantasy romance about angels, demons, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, death, and blood.
Ooh.
See, I'm very interested in this. This is one of those like things that like there was a lot of it, but I still enjoy it.
Well, the thing is, for me, angels and demons, there's been a lot of that, but it's been done in a very specific way.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in the afterlife, but not in the specific way it's been done. It's always just been like, oh, a hot angel or a hot demon. Who do I fuck? I'm interested in like the automatically I'm like the four horsemen of the apocalypse. That already makes it more in depth and like cultural specific. So I'm just saying.
I'm also one of those people who can just consume the same, like, you just give me the same cliche. I don't care. I'll read it like 1,000 different ways because I like it.
Forbidden romance. Just keep it coming. I'm good. Hi, Chris.
Hey, what DO timer? Link me this DO timer you claim exists. No, I need one for 15 minutes. I am not refreshing a 10-second timer for 15 minutes. I'm working on a story with a friend. Awesome. That can be tricky, though.
Right.
I'm 2/3 through my first draft. Yeah. Working on a short story. Sweet. Edit. Okay. Editing, scripting. Okay. Now, all right. We got through what everyone's working on. Just in time, kind of. All right. 15-minute timer.
Shit, I haven't even decided what I'm going to work on. I guess I'll pull up TSA and just wing it. Because that's what I do.
Yes. Don't reference your outline at all.
No, that is not how I work. I just no. Where is it? Oh, I forgot that I put it under the full name, and I was like, "Where's TSA?" And it's under the name that I cannot say. Okay.
So there's a few times when I'm all like, "Where is that manuscript that I was about to work on? Damn you, anal organization, 18,000 folders." All right. So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. And we back. Gonna start the break timer. Go ahead.
I clicked on right when the explosion was happening, and I was like, "Oh shit! There's an explosion that's going on."
It only goes through my headphones apparently, so I always hear it, and it's always like, I'm like, hello.
Well, I can say I got 308 words. Someone is very bloody. That's all I can say.
Someone is very bloody. I got. Hold on. It's 134.
Good job.
I'm working on the outline though, so there's a lot of, especially I haven't looked at it in a month, so I was like, what was I doing? It was like at this one part where like this character comes in to like talk to their father, and I'm like, what were they gonna talk about? Why?
Usually when I work on the outline, I have to read the whole outline first, or else I'm fucked. I just cannot do it. But yeah, I'm basically, this is the opening scene of TSA. I started the first chapter, but there's an opening scene before the first chapter, and so I'm working on the. You're like, you already know. You already know what's going on, but yeah.
So go breaking my heart, except that she does.
But yeah, I'm working on the opening scene. There's lots of blood. I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry, but I'm a little sorry. I'm a little sorry.
It's okay. It'll be worth it. I say as I cry myself to sleep at night. All right, everybody, tell us how you did while I skim through. So forgive me, I'm new at having this many people in stream, so I'm gonna have to skip some comments. It's fine. There's no need to apologize. I'm just like, so if I'm slow, guys, I'm still trying to figure out how to do this.
Oh, what's the other way?
Also, hold on. Yes, Rights of War Saga. Also, Sam. I don't look. That is like the biggest thing. I don't like war novels. And then I'm writing a war saga, and I just still not sure how that happened.
But I don't like historical war novels, and I don't like how a lot of war novels are, where it's like, here is an entire book for like the schematics, and it's like, I don't give a fuck. Just like get to the good stuff, you know. Like I'm fine with the war, just like get to the interesting things.
Yeah, for me, I was like, I'm like, okay, so here's everything, and I'm like, how do I want to make this like interesting and stuff? And I'm like, well, there's gonna be a war, I know that, but I kind of don't want it to be like this ongoing thing. And I'm like, wait, my villain's going to invent war, so that's a really fun like take for me, because I'm like, yes, nobody's ever done war before now. So like nobody knew how to do anything. They're like, what do you mean we're being invaded? What, we don't get invaded. We just have to deal with giant monster things. Other people are attacking us.
I love that. I love it.
I'm very excited. I'm having an exciting. Yes, we all do.
Yeah, we can relate. Welcome to us.
Welcome to us. Also, welcome, Candy. It's fine. You come like every week. You can be late.
I love you, Candy.
All right, let's see. Pajamas for the win. What is getting dressed?
Not me.
Yes, you get chapters you get 5 so that you can all know the glory of Leather Daddy. And I will not expand upon that.
That's literally why I did 5 chapters instead of 4. I'm like, I want everyone to meet Leather Daddy.
Jenna was like, should I do 4? Should I do 5? Because there's a Layla scene in 5. And I was like, what is chapter 5? Leather Daddy!
Sam literally is the reason why it's 5 chapters, because she's like, but Jenna, Leather Daddy's in 5. I'm like, well, now it's done. It's happening.
You're welcome, everyone. That's been like me just daily. It's the stay-at-home mom life.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all like, you should put real clothes on to like help your mind be productive, and I'm like, or
I can be comfortable, and because I'm comfortable, I can get more done. Fuckers.
Exactly. I do have like chore pants for when I'm cleaning, but that's just because I like clean with bleach and stuff, so I don't want my fuzzy pants to die.
That makes sense. That's very rational.
Relaxing, don't know her.
I don't either. Is she nice?
Ash should always be. I agree. Does not matter the context of which this became a sentence.
We just agree because it's true.
I'm writing chapter 5. Ah, yeah, political meetings with a group of alphas.
Oh no, you're not gonna like my upcoming video.
I am contextual, damn it. See, I agree and disagree because sometimes fan fiction irks me, and then other times I love fan fiction. So it all just depends. It's kind of like novels.
Right.
I just saw the bomb-ass script, and what bomb-ass? Oh, Matt's bomb-ass. Is it Matt's bomb-ass script? Jesse,
Matt, you're writing a script. I thought you were writing a book. I need to know things now. How come I haven't been informed?
Look, I have a shit memory / brain fog, so y'all know I need constant context. Just
yeah,
like I said this 2 minutes ago, Sam. That was 2 minutes ago. Sorry,
yeah, I need to know what is the bomb ass script. Is this Matt? Matt, are you writing a script now? I have questions. I need answers, and I am offended and hurt. I'm not actually offended and hurt.
Like what
yeah, but I want to know. I want to know all the things.
Hi. And then I'm gonna. Oh yeah, short story. Oh, that's cool.
That's smart. Smart.
Camp Nano.
Woo.
How do you know it's yours? Oh wait, is it Jesse's bomb-ass script? Damn it, they're keeping things from us.
I know, I'm concerned. I mean, like, I'm just confused at this point because I know Jesse is writing a TV show script, so.
Yes.
Oh,
she does.
Hold on, sorry.
You're good.
I heard Clifford. Whatever.
She does turn into a dragon.
I knew it, the Swan Lake, but it's like Dragon Lake.
Dragon Lake. Going to work on draft. For some reason, I could not read Of Life. My brain was just like, you don't know that word. I'm like, but I do. I do know that word. Of the Supernatural series, book 1 outline, or second draft of the horror dark fantasy novel, book 1. I'm a writer, guys. I can read words.
I can't.
So beta questions. I really love doing the questionnaire for beta questions. I mildly stole Jenna's format of what do you think of character A? What do you think of character B? Character C.
It helps.
Scene 1, 2, scene 3, scene 4.
I recommend stealing from my format. Not stealing in general. I mean, maybe. But just for my format, it definitely helps because you think that it's not that big of a deal until you're reading the beta answers and then they're reading about your villain and they're like, I think he's so great and so sweet and I love him. And you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. Yeah, so ask the questions. Just trust me. I know what I'm doing. I'm a doctor.
And and also if you do it in that order too, what do you think of scene 1 and scene 2 and scene 3? Sometimes betas just answer the questions without like copy pasting the questions, and like at that point you kind of have the questions memorized, so you don't even really need to reference them. You're just like, okay, I know what's going on here.
Exactly.
I only have my Zelda tramp. Well, I would like to see a picture of your Zelda tramp stamp. I contemplated getting a Zelda tramp stamp, actually, the Phoenix, but I have a very, very tiny lower back. So I was like, you wouldn't really be able to tell what it is. So instead, it's just going to be on all of my back.
Nice. I like that.
Oh, yeah. My doctor was like, so normally I like try to prescribe other things instead of the migraine medication I'm prescribing you, because one of the side effects is weight gain, and a lot of people don't really care about that. He's like, but you, and I'm like, I know. It'll probably be a good thing. And then he looked at my chart and he was like, oh, you've actually gained 3 pounds. Good job. And I'm like, yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. We were very concerned because, like, for a while, every time I went to him, I was a pound lighter. And he was like, we should try to stop that. And I'm like, I know.
You're like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know how to I eat. I promise you. So
Right.
there you go. I'm working on draft 2 of a dark. I love dark urban fantasy. Pretty much just put the words dark, urban, or fantasy in any order, and
Right.
you've got my attention. I don't know what is happening here.
It's because I was talking about if you poop on a page.
Oh,
The first
okay,
draft.
yeah. Okay.
So Cody is very excited about that. He's got a scat fetish and can't relate, but I support it. I know that's not what you mean, Cody. I'm just fucking with you, but you should have seen it coming.
Yes. I apparently had so many comments when it refreshed. It was just like, do you want to hide the current comment? Because you can't scroll back up. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was the thing that could happen. Good to know.
I'm sorry. It's my fault. Actually, can I pause to pee?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry.
I will continue talking with chat. She was a bestseller in, I don't know if it was horror, but she was an Amazon bestseller in fantasy and dark fantasy. And horror might have been the third one. I know there were 3 lists that she hit for TSS. And TSC is on the book depository list. Ice Turn Black, the prophecy has been fulfilled. I'm missing things. I hope Jenna stays safe during the apparent California earthquake happening in her. Well, she seems fine. Excuse me. So the thing with dark fantasy is that it has horror aspects, so it's kind of like fantasy horror. But like horror also has fantasy aspects. It's just, genres are tricky bitches. Did a missile just go off? In the countdown, the timer that I'm using? Yes, it's a missile launcher. All right, 290 words. Ah, yeah. Hello, hello.
I have returned.
What were the categories that you became number 1 in? Do you remember?
Shit, I don't know. I know one was about Greek mythology. It was some kind of Greek mythology category, but that's all I remember.
Somebody thought one of them was horror, and I was like, I thought it was like.
Oh no! I became number 1. Not number 1. I became a bestseller in dark fantasy horror, I think, but the not number 1. I mean, maybe I did, and I just don't know. But the one, one of the ones that I knew about for reaching number 1 was like a mythology category. So, hi.
So there you go, peeps. 290 is still good. That's more, or that's 290 more words than you had.
Right.
135 is good. 414. Ah,
more
yeah.
than me. More than me.
66. Yeah. Got some words down. I too am outlining. 263. Ah, yeah. 237. 835 in the last minute and a half.
Don't lie.
8:35 in a minute and a half. I'm very jealous.
Yeah, come on.
Right, 102. Oh yeah. Right, 233. 700 words. I'm scripting a newbie YouTube tag. Ooh. My brain was like, what is going on here? I caught on. 23 words in editing, 200 words. I'm impressed when people can get high numbers in 15 minutes. It's mostly just your typing speed.
Right.
I figured out how to fix this section, so that was a huge win. Oh yeah!
Hey,
Always
Jessie.
satisfying. Shh, it's okay. I went for outlining, didn't keep tabs on words. Yeah, I only know because I had highlighted yellow where I started.
Oh, that's smart.
It's Jenna, we're expecting the blood.
Good.
Yes. Our blood.
Good.
Right. I'm gonna... Oh. Hello, doll. Welcome to the stream. Here you go. Matt accomplished a fresh bottle of wine. That was clutch.
I'm jealous. All I have is my vodka OJ.
I see Leather Daddy. Yes. Candy loves you too.
Hi, Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah!
It's gonna be my finest. Nothing else I do will ever top that. Right.
I'm the reason Leather Daddy appeared
That's
in
right.
the teaser.
I'm gonna be like, hi, this is my 50th book I've published, but I am responsible for Leather Daddy and the TSU fandom. We do love Leather Daddy. He is great.
I love Leather Daddy. Leather Daddy. Oh my gosh, people are just going nuts over it. It's funny because I wrote him, and in my my gray sexual mind is like this. There's nothing remotely hot about this guy, and then you. But I know that you.
I did the same thing.
Yeah,
because I was not to be spoilery in the most vague way possible. It's just like this character is mildly defined by a leather article of clothing because you know it's old timey, and he's kind of paternal. And I give legitimately everybody like Erebus. Is that how you say it? Okay,
Erebus, yeah.
I call him discount Brontes or discount premium Brontes, depending on my mood and whether or not he has displeased me. So I was just like, I'm typing to Jenna while I'm reading it, and I'm like, Leather Daddy. Da 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 da. I know how it sounds, but I'm sticking to it.
Right. And that's how I am. It's like he wears leather and he's kind of paternal, so I get it. And it's just funny to me because both of us is like, this is from a completely non-sexual place. It's like, I'm gray sexual. I don't think of it in that way at all. And then people have just been eating up like, Leather Daddy, yeah. And I'm just like,
I have enjoyed the chaos.
Yeah, it's like he's like 45, but I mean, you know, whatever, different strokes, different folks, whatever. But yeah, it's gone out of control, but it's been really funny.
Oh yeah, like it's been great. Everybody was just like, Leather Daddy, why is he Leather Daddy? Oh yeah,
it makes sense now, and now everyone wants to fuck him. So, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't, but
you do you, boo.
Yeah.
You do. All right. Oh, hey. So Savvy has stopped in. Hey, Savvy. I'm just scrolling down to welcome anybody before we do our thing. I saw something about poo and chocolate, but it refreshed, and I am not going back up.
What? Why? I can't understand why.
Not investigating that.
That makes no sense.
It is not. Although I will say, y'all are very, very bad at like assigning the daddy names. Like, leave it to the professional.
Also, I've just learned that people have very low standards because it's like, like everyone's a daddy, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, don't you have like a barometer for like who you're gonna fuck? I just want to know. Like, I'm confused. You know, like Leather Daddy, he's a very nice guy, but he's fucked up. he's got problems, and you want to fuck him. I want to know, like, what do you tell your therapist? What has happened? I have questions.
I want to be mock offended for Leather Daddy, but I'm not.
No. You can't be, because you know you were not in that position.
I know. I would not. I would never. It's especially bad for me because, one, I call my dad daddy. That's what he is in my phone. That's just, I don't care that I'm gonna be 30. It's just, I was all like, oh, hey daddy, happy Father's Day. That's just what I call him. I always have since I was 3. I always will. And so it's like, I just can't. And my dad is only like 48 too. So these people are literally from my dad. And I'm like, so, all right.
Yeah. I've discovered low standards through reading nicknames, and I'm like, whatever you say. And it's funny because, like, I share the portraits of the characters, and people be like, they're so hot, and some of them I'm like, okay, whatever you say. And I'm not like, I'm gray-sexual, okay? Yeah, but like, I'll look at a person's face and I'm like, really, this person's like getting your bits tingled? Okay, I don't understand. Yeah.
There was one time I was in this role play group, and like somebody posted a picture of Link from The Legend of Zelda, and it was just a group of women, so they were all like, oh, he's so hot, and oh my god, I love him. And I'm like, Link's cool. Yeah. He's my favorite game character. I don't appreciate the way y'all are turning him into a piece of meat over here. I'm just in my corner.
I'm crying because I can totally relate. You're just there going, yeah, games.
So before we start, I feel the need to Savvy says you love your furry pirates.
I do if they're Bigfoot pirates and they are gangbanging a singular twink.
I just walked into something I had not
expected. It's from
Chuck Tingle.
Right? Thank you, Chuck Tingle. Yeah.
I don't remember much, but I remember the erotica author I want to read.
Yeah, it's just literally I finished the anthology recently, and it was intellectual, it was inspiring, it broadened my horizons. That makes it sound like some kind of butthole euphemism, but anyway, it was great. And it was lots of like, there was a unicorn, there was a Civil War unicorn, and it fucked a guy to get him closer to his deceased unicorn lover.
I just like how my brain was like, yeah, unicorn's fine. Civil War unicorn. Wait, a what? I didn't question the unicorn until it became a Civil War unicorn.
Yeah, it was literally a Civil War hero unicorn who died in the Civil War. His ghost, his Civil War unicorn ghost, fucked the man, so he could get closer to his dead Spanish unicorn lover. So a Spanish unicorn lover.
So hyper specific. I love it.
Yes. It was amazing. I learned so much about the craft of writing from that.
All right, let's go in. And with that, let's go into our next friend.
Now that you've learned so much, let's continue. I'm sorry.
Right. You did. I haven't liked this timer. I'm ashamed. All right. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hello, hello, and we are back.
Hello.
All right. I'm checking out my word count. I did 230. How did everybody else do?
I was in the middle of a sentence, so I'm finishing the sentence, and then I will count. Let's see. That's fine.
All I see is, and now I have to focus on my totally not sexual mythology short, so you're welcome.
Okay,
Are
I
you
wrote 179. So like half of what I did last time. Hey, it still counts. We feel well.
It's still more than you had. And I saw you
Exactly.
in chat. You were socializing during the sprint.
Oh no. I
You
was
keep
caught.
lurking. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Jesse, I drank 2 glasses of wine and wrote nothing. It's okay.
That happens sometimes. Oh, what happened? I don't think she can tell us what happened.
Mm-mm.
Sophie says that she's writing violent. That's probably true, though.
I got to like an important part. I'll just say that. And it involves violence. That's all I can say. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. To everybody who wants to know why Wemble is Glitter Daddy, go check out what is it called? The musical?
Yeah, the
Portrait?
musical portrait.
I remember things.
Glitter on my dick, glitter on my dick. Sorry.
That just reminds me. So everybody, my poor husband, right? He pays for Spotify Premium, and like Jenna had shared the TSA playlist with me. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening. There are some songs that I hadn't heard before, and so I was trying to listen to them. There was one that was called "Suck My Dick," and I'm like, "Oh, this is interesting." And so I click on it, but like it's not. Spotify had just stopped playing from my phone, and I couldn't figure out why. And then it started like it had switched over to like the Veronicas, and I'm like, I didn't tell you to change. So I went back to the PSA playlist, but it still wasn't playing through my phone. So I was just like, what, is Spotify like not working? And so I'm trying to play Suck My Dick, and then it changes to It's Been a Good Day, and I'm like, good song, but not the one I want to listen to. And so like I'm really struggling trying to get this song to play. And then my husband messages me, give me back my Spotify. And I'm like, oh, you're off work. And he gets home and he's like, tells me the story from his point of view, which is he's, driving, trying to listen to Spotify, which prioritized his truck over my phone, apparently. So he's, trying to listen to his playlist, and then he hears, suck my dick, and then he tries to switch, and then he just hears, suck my dick, and surround sound. And I'm just like dying as he's telling me this. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, hun. I didn't know what I was doing.
My face hurts.
But I also just want to like point out that when he was all like, give me back my Spotify, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was doing that. And then he's like, can I have my playlist, please? I'm like, yes, take your playlist, sir. He was like so sweet about it.
My face hurts.
But so that was the thing that happened.
Oh man.
This is what he gets to put up with me. So hi, Ava. And she says hi to Butters.
Oh, she's not here right now, but hi. On her back.
The world needs to get ready. No one is ready for Glitter Daddy. Because Glitter Daddy is coming in full force.
Oh man. Like literally my face hurts. Stop being funny, guys. Just start talking about like taxes.
Glitter Daddy sounds to me like a drag queen who's the soul of the nightclub.
Yes. I'll be Glitter Daddy. I don't even like glitter, but I'll be Glitter Daddy.
Blurbs are hard to write because you have to condense your entire novel into 2 paragraphs, and you're like, but how? But why? But
basically, that's it. And you think every detail is important, but it's not. And you have to learn to look at it from that outside perspective. It's hard to do.
One thing that makes blurbs a little easier for me to write is I look back on them and I'm like, when I pick up a book, what do I give a fuck about? Like,
Yeah.
I don't need the backstory of your, like, person who's lived their entire life on the outside of this, that, and the other. I just need to know so-and-so is about to go on an epic journey to get the MacGuffin. And I'm like, why do we want the MacGuffin? I need to know, why are we getting the MacGuffin? And then on their journey, they come across an unexpected encounter. Oh shit, why wasn't it expected? With this person that they might fall in love with. Oh, hot damn, put it in the cart. I'm a very simple creature.
No, really, but it's true. You just think about the main points and what everyone thinks every character is important, and it'll be like, this is the character's father, this is the character's mother, this is the character's best friend. It's like no one gives a fuck. Just focus on the main character and their demons and battles, okay? Like you should only have to name like 2, maybe 3 people in the blurb and just focus on the intrigue, the wonder. If you can say it in a movie theater, like there once was a man, like if you can say it in that movie trailer voice, then it works.
I used to have
unexpected. I love that, Matt. Sorry, continue.
I used to have a best friend who like she was my high school best friend, and she would only buy like manga and stuff if we went shopping together, because she would hand me the back of the books and she's like, read it, you always make it sound interesting. And I would, in like a narrator voice, be like, and so they walked down the street. That's just how I read everything.
I like almost choked on my vodka OJ. Oh man, that's great.
I used to want to be a voice actor, and then I discovered how much they don't get paid, and I was like, well, never mind. 272. Oh, yeah.
More than me, shit.
That's a lot of words right there.
Book it session. Do you have like 20 fingers? I have questions.
The expression on your face.
Are you using your tongue? You're just like on the laptop. I need to know. I have no shame.
This is great. 318 words. Yeah. I'm trying not to die over here. Yeah. I'd rather not say. It's fine. 78 words before my daughter came in and sang Go Noodle song until the timer.
What's fair. Go Noodle? I'm not a parent.
I don't know that song.
Okay.
I don't know most parent songs. Okay. I only know Baby Shark, which the chat hates. So, but
I don't.
It's always tempted for Baby Shark is just this song that repeats. It's like do do do. It's
yeah. I'm vaguely familiar. Vaguely.
But it goes like Baby Shark, Mommy Shark, Daddy Shark, and it's always 2 syllables. So I'm like Michael Shark, Gabriel Shark.
Aw, that's cute.
And they like it. So 348 words. Yeah. Yes, that's so close. Do it. Do it. You can do it.
Jesse!
Hey, he's moderating though, to be fair.
That's true. Okay. I'm sorry, Jesse.
It's okay. According to Fox, somebody's approving comments like that. I assume it's Jesse now. 78 words. Yeah. I'm working on names. Names are hard. Fair though. They can take a while.
Yeah.
Stop. Why?
350, but
we love you.
That's fair.
And your glorious Zeus beard.
Jenna says we love you and your glorious Zeus beard.
Yes.
No.
What do you mean, how does she know about your Zeus beard? You post photos.
Pictures! I'm just spying on you guys.
I post photos of you.
Stop it.
Somebody posts photos. Michael posts photos.
Yeah.
200, a thought dump timeline. Yeah. Working out kinks of the magic system.
Are they kinks in the magic system, or are they kinks with the magic? Sorry, ignore me. I've just been having vodka.
The only problem with my big glasses is I have to like work extra hard to make the eyebrow wiggle.
I love it.
333 words and a kitten distracted me. That's fair. I think one of mine is, yep, there she be.
Hi, kitty. Hey, sweetie. Sweetie.
She'll be a butt in a second. She's bathing. I've more than doubled this time. Aw, yeah. 186 past my midpoint yesterday. Drinking gin and tonic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A glass of wine is equivalent to 500 words. Is that how it works? Damn it. We're doing it wrong.
Man, if I knew that, I would have like fucking 30 books out by now. Shit. Damn it. I didn't know.
Savior series would be done.
Right. Fuck.
I'm still uploading that video, so however many words I put in the description, that was the sprint. That's fair. Creating a name. The realm name is in Spanish.
Ooh, as a Puerto Rican, I appreciate that.
I want to know what the realm name is.
Right.
I'm still picking glitter out of places from an indecent or incident, not indecent. Or was it an indecent incident?
It could be an indecent incident. That's what I'm gonna fucking bet my money on. It's an indecent incident. If you're still picking glitter out of it, that's coming out of your fucking butthole. Don't tell me otherwise.
Yes, Jenna was caught socializing.
I know. Only online. That's the only way it happens. In person, fuck. I'm in my corner petting a dog. Like there's a dog there, woo. There's a cat there, woo. I'm not talking to humans. They're messed up.
I almost joked. 379 words this time. My character got congratulated by his mentor and got his cut healed.
One of his boyfriends.
Ooh,
is this polyamorous or a love triangle? I need details. Or it could be a polyamorous love triangle. I need details.
That could be an actual triangle if it was poly, not just an arrow.
Right.
I'm critiquing someone else's work right now. That is very important, though. I'm sure they appreciate it.
I'm sorry, I just saw the picture.
Cassidy!
I love Cassidy, my favorite booktuber.
We love you. We do.
You're our favorite.
It just takes me, I'm a little slow, like, full disclaimer, I had to take some migraine medicine before the stream, and that always just kind of makes it seem as if I drank a whole bottle of wine by myself.
She also is the one who has to be, like, the mature adult here, because I'm just here like, hey, woo, buttholes! So she's being the adult while I'm here like, yeah! So
yeah, that's what we'll call me.
Yeah.
I thought of something for the character who's going to be death. Her weapon would still be a scythe, but the handle would be a rifle. It sounds dumb as fuck, but it sounds anime. I'm very interested.
It sounds fucking violent to me, and I like violence. In fiction!
Two kinds of people. Sounds anime. Sounds violent.
Exactly.
203 this time, and begun to dial up the creep factor. Ooh. What song? Oh, okay.
Alaska Thunder! Yes! Glitter on my dick, glitter on my dick, glitter. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyone who's not familiar with Alaska Thunderfuck, she's amazing, and you should check her out. Sorry. Ahead of time. That's the national anthem! I mean, maybe.
I love that Sage the Gemini is the playlist that is on.
Sage the Gemini, yeah, that's on my playlist for TSA for a brothel scene. Because the song is a gas pedal, which is like, a very sexual song. So it's for a brothel scene. And I'm so excited to write that scene.
So when we were at Gabe's birthday thing at my parents' house, they put on an 80s rock station, and Dragula came on, and I was like, yes. And then I thought of TSA too now, so I'm like, yes, I have multiple associations with this.
I've always joked, or I guess not so much joked because I'm serious. I've always talked about how I would love Dragula to play at my wedding. I don't know why. Like, there's no
It's a
specific.
good song.
Yeah, it's like for me, I love industrial metal, and then at weddings you're supposed to dance, and I associate Rob Zombie with dancey metal. So it's like Dragula's like people can dance, but I know that like all the regular people there who are like Taylor Swift, they're not going to dance to it. But like to me,
But
that felt like
I will come just to dance to it.
Thank you. For me, it
Like,
felt like me meeting them in the middle. Like, here's some of my music, and here's what you fucking white people like to do is dance, you know? So, but yeah, that's why I always associate Rob Zombie with weddings. It's because I'm like, it's metal, but you can dance to it. But yeah, I don't think.
Plus, Dragula is about Herman and Lily Munster's car, and that was their wedding car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think at the beginning of the series, they drive in it, and it says just married. What you mean? Sir, you didn't even know lilies were a funeral flower. Don't you shake your head at me.
I didn't know that either. So, and I wrote a fucking book where the main.
Oh, I just give him shit about different things.
Jesse
Not
goes,
an
I would
actual
dance my ass off to Dragula. Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
People want to see the Zeus beard. He said that's nice.
You like cool.
Yep.
Pay money.
He's a Scorpio. He's only in the spotlight when he chooses to be.
Exactly. I love Scorpios though. They're my favorite water sign.
I do, because like they're the only water sign that's all like, you know what, Virgo, you're a little bit of a bitch, but you got points. And I'm like, I appreciate
the other water sign. I'm not okay. People are gonna. Where'd you go? Was that the beer? Oh, that was the best scene I've ever seen in my life.
Jenna loved it.
Oh,
She legit didn't know what happened for a second. Like, where did Sam go? I didn't realize what he was doing. He just came up, and I was like, "Why is my camera acting up?" Oh wait, and I'm like right here. So
okay. Heart palpitations, palpitation. I can't even say the word. Okay, but yeah, Cancers and Pisces, and please don't. They're gonna get mad because they're Cancers and Pisces. Okay, but they you know, like they'll be the person who like you give them a criticism, they're like meh. But Scorpios, it's like I'll take your criticism, but also here's another like they'll go back and forth with you. So Scorpios is my water sign preference. To the Cancers and Pisces of the group, I want to say I'm sorry, but it's not true. Just calm down. That's all I have to say. Calm down.
Calm
down. What are your zodiacs?
As stated, excuse me, I'm a Virgo.
And I'm an Aquarius, the cold-hearted bitch of the zodiac. Virgo and is the
critical bitch of the zodiac.
You're the critical bitch. I'm the cold-hearted bitch. That's why we're friends.
Together, we the zodiac bitches.
The Z bitches. The zitches.
We need a shirt that, or like matching wine glasses that say that now for our orange juice.
Right. Mine's empty. It's that.
So Matt is my birthday Virgo bitch buddy. So we have the same birthday.
The exact same date?
We're both, well, not year. No, yeah.
Date.
August 30th is my birthday and his birthday. It's just different years.
That's why I love you both.
Exactly.
Cassidy is like, I'm a Pisces. But Cassidy, I love you. The thing about Pisces is they're very creative. So there are so many Pisces in like the writing and artistic realm of things. And I adore Pisces. I get along with them so well. It's just that Pisces can be a little
all zodiac things have their negative and positive.
Exactly. For Aquarius, our thing is that we are giant bitches. So people get mad at us very easily because we will say something that we think is normal and everyone else is like, wow, you're a big bitch. Yeah. So we're like the reverse in that situation. And Virgo can kind of relate.
Yeah, because Virgo has this like overwhelming drive to like help people, which sounds fine, except when our version of helping is, well, I think you were being a little bit sensitive in that last conversation. Maybe if you just kind of opened your mind and listened, you'd be able to improve yourself. And then people are like, excuse the fuck out of you. I didn't ask for your opinion. And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, you didn't ask, I guess.
But I just wanted to help.
I mean, I would have wanted someone to tell me if they thought I was being sensitive, but
yeah, that's why I get along with Virgos so well, is because we have the same problem of like, I am trying to be a good influence, but I am just making it worse. I'm just digging a hole.
There are actually a lot of conversations where I'll like message Jenna and I'll be like, am I fine? Did I like fuck up? Did I say?
But I do the same thing. I'll be like, I don't know if I fucked up, and then you're like, I think you did fine. And someone else is like, yeah. Someone else is like, no. I don't know. We're both in this together. We're in the same boat.
We're in this together. She's a Cancer. I'm a Pisces who was raised by a Virgo. So yeah, you gotta see. It helps that like I was raised by two Virgos, my grandparents, and then my dad is a Leo, and my mom's a Sagittarius, and my sisters are Aries. So I kind of had to learn to figure it all out.
My dad is a Leo and my mom is a Virgo. So I'm already like the cold-hearted bitch, but Virgos are very organized. So I became the cold-hearted, organized bitch because of my mom. And it's funny because it's like my mom always jokes like, oh, like, because we didn't get along when I was younger. She's like, it's because I'm a Virgo. I'm like, no, I have Virgo friends. It's not like I don't the organization and everything, the critical aspect I appreciate, so that's fine, Mom, don't worry about it.
It's not the Virgo, that's not the reason.
Right.
Other things.
But yeah, sometimes the way you were raised, it can influence, because Aquarians are not known for being organized, but I am hyper organized, and that's probably because of who I was raised by.
My grandmother taught me my greatest life lesson, and that's, if they don't ask for your opinion, don't offer it. But if they ask, so I'm like, don't ask if you don't want to know.
Right.
But if you want to know, I'll tell you. But just don't open that box.
And I will offer, I'll be like, if you want advice, I will give it. But if you don't, that's fine. That's my way of saying I really want to tell you that you're fucking I really want to tell you that you're a big fucking idiot, and I'm here waiting to tell you. But yeah, I can relate. Another good piece of advice comes from RuPaul, which is, if they're not paying your bills, then you pay them no mind. I think about that in my own daily life.
Cassidy is a Pisces.
Cassidy, we love you. You're creative and wonderful, and we adore you. Okay, I love Pisces. I am just a cold-hearted bitch. Feels bad.
I'm sorry. I'm a Taurus. I'm the stubborn one of the Zodiac.
I have nothing nice to say about that. I'm sorry.
I have a best friend who is a Taurus, Aries cusp, and but he knows. He knows.
Tauruses are just. That's all I have to say.
I want to say I'm sorry, but it's not true. I need this on my grace. Oh, Gemini. Jenna, this is her least favorite sign.
I love Geminis. I am engaged to marry a Gemini, and I wrote my main character as a savior sister after Gemini. I just like Geminis. Geminis get such a bad rap, but it's just because they are eclectic and they change their mind frequently. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it can be annoying, but it's not necessarily a bad trait. There are worse traits like being inherently evil or something like that. Geminis are they're just eclectic, and they're colorful, and they like to experiment and try new things. And I find them very fun, and I adore them. So biased.
And there's also, like, at least from my young Gemini, there is a lot of the, like, when people the whole double face thing. It's not really double face so much as like they can just go from one extreme emotion to another extreme emotion.
Exactly.
But that's a good thing too, because it means that they can go from being really upset to just taking a breather, and then they're okay again. So it's
Exactly.
just like,
people think they're two-faced. It's not that they're two-faced. It's just that they don't linger in that space for as long as other people. And as an Aquarius, I can kind of relate. I'm an air sign. My sister, who's a Cancer, is always like, Jenna gets over problems really quickly because she'll be angry about it for like a week. Whereas me, I just need to sleep on it and the next day I'm fine. Geminis are like, I need 15 minutes and then I'm fine. You know, like they just get over shit really quickly and they change their mind really quickly. So if you're making dinner plans with a Gemini, if you make them the day before, you're going to have to, you know, double check the hour before because they may have changed their mind. They're just very fickle.
Yeah.
It's not that they're two-faced. They just change their mind really frequently. They're very what they're feeling in that moment. They're very of the moment, which can be really fun if you're a spontaneous person and you want to experience life in the moment. If you are
when you're Virgo planning dinner and you're like, do you want spaghetti? Yes. 2 hours later, I want chili dogs. Child, you said spaghetti.
Yeah.
We're having spaghetti.
I was literally about to say, if you're like a earth sign and you like need things structured, it's not gonna work. But yeah, as someone who grew up with an earth sign, like I've gotten used to it. But Geminis, they're not as good with it, and that's where that disconnect comes into play. But for me as an air sign, I find it's mostly fun and refreshing, and then there's like a side dose of annoyance, like this little tiny dose of like, make up your mind, bitch.
Yeah. The comment like went up, but I saw somebody say that Virgos don't know how to give positive, or Virgos don't give positive reinforcement. That's not true. It's just that Virgos have to learn how other people translate positive reinforcement.
Exactly.
Like when I was setting up my website, Jenna looked over one of the pages for me and she was like, oh, hey, you've misspelt some of these things. And I mean, it was just, you know, no sugarcoating or anything. It's just, here are your typos. And I appreciate that because it's just like really straightforward or really this. And I'm like, even like, say I was being oversensitive about something and Jenna's like, Sam, you're being a little sensitive right now. I'd prefer her be say that you're being a big baby at the moment, because I just want it frank like that. But other people tend to not want it told as straight. So It's just, you have to learn to communicate with other people the way they like to communicate. But I'm always fucking like pimp out my friends and tell them how amazing they are. So
no, I completely agree. And I'm saying this as someone who grew up with a Virgo, and I didn't get along with my mom growing up. So I'm not saying this is just like, I love my mom. It's not that they can't give positive reinforcement. It's just that they are straightforward. And I am a straightforward person as well. So I appreciate, like, if I'm asking you a question, just tell me the answer. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, they don't want that. They want, like, I remember someone got mad at me online because they asked me a yes or no question and I responded with yes. They got mad at me because I gave them a one-word answer, and then they were like, oh my God, like, Jenna's so rude because she only responded with one word. And I was like, it was a yes or no question. What the fuck? Do you want me to wax poetic? Yes, your answer.
What do you want?
Yes, your answer is correct. You are a genius. I loved, like, they just wanted the whole shebang. I am not that way. But that's kind of how Virgos are as well. Like, they are very straightforward, and I
don't like beating around the bush, because one, it makes me feel like I'm taking forever to get to it, and it makes me feel like vaguely manipulative, because that's what you're doing.
Right.
You're manipulating your words so the other person isn't as mad at you. And like, I value my best friends because I have 4 of them, and I feel completely secure in the fact that I could just be like, hey, you're being a dick today. I think you should not And
Mhm.
even if they don't appreciate that, even if we may get into an argument about it, they're gonna forgive me. It's gonna be
Right.
okay. And if
Mhm.
they're all like, "Sam, you're being a dick today," I'm gonna be like, "Am I? Dick. Whoops." That's the other thing. Virgos, big self-blamers. We're gonna be like, "Oh wait, I am. Oh shit, you're right." Like, I'ma just assume you're right. You know.
Yeah, that I'm the same way. I would just rather, I mean, like, obviously I would want someone to say it in a kind way to me. Like, if I'm being a dick, just be like, Jenna, I know you didn't intend it, but you're kind of being a dick. For me, that's the kind way of saying it, you know, but then like, then some, like maybe a Pisces or Cancer is like, oh, you're not being a dick, you're just being slightly sensitive, which is a great thing. And here is an entire essay about how you're being a little bit sensitive that ultimately boils down to you're being kind of a dick. You know, like I don't need that. For me, that is confusing. It's convoluted. Get straight to the point. You can deliver it nicely, but get straight to the point. And that's how I feel about Virgos. They are to the point and they can deliver it in a nice way. They just kind of have to modify it depending on who they're talking to, because there are other signs in the zodiac who are a lot more sensitive, and we don't know her.
We know her. We just get into arguments with her a lot.
I'm not trying. I'm trying my best to be sweet. I really am. I'm just not good at it. I say that like I'm a Virgo. I was just raised by one.
It's fine. You understand.
I get
You
it.
go through the same thing. Once I emptied the waterworks, I'm good. Yeah. I'm an emotional creature. That I cry if I'm mad, I cry if I'm sad. It just happens.
Yes, Matt knows what's up. Yeah, I'm
Gemini.
not. Ooh, Gemini. My dad's Virgo. Yeah, one more response. I don't understand why people get mad about that. It's like, I'm just being efficient, bitches. But for me, I'm not an outwardly, I feel the emotions inside, but I'm not an outwardly emotional person. That's probably in part because of being an Aquarius, part of being on the autism spectrum. But I sometimes have had to tell people, like, I'm feeling the emotion for you. You're just not going to see it on my face. And then they're like, oh, okay, that makes me feel better because I just thought you were a bitch. And I'm like, no, not a bitch. I just don't cry. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, one of my mom had me when she was like a teenager, so she's always been really straightforward and honest about like all the things that she thinks that she did right or that she did wrong. And I always tell her that one of the things that I think that she did really right was how she taught us to deal with our emotions. And so like from a young age, I was always taught, you feel what you feel and crying will help. No matter what, cry. And I think something in my brain was just like, okay, so that's how we deal with everything now. And I'm like, but I don't want to deal with everything through crying. But it does help.
It
a
does
lot.
help though. I honestly, like, I'm not a natural crier. And there have been times where I'm so upset about something that I'm just like, I just wish I would cry. Like, just get it out. But it doesn't work.
There's a science behind it that apparently the whatever emotional surge you're feeling, you know, it messes with the chemicals in your body. So then you release tears to counter those chemicals. And that's why, like, under a microscope, happy tears have a different chemical compound than angry tears or than sad tears. And like when I learned that, I was like, is that why everything makes me cry? I'm just working. Okay.
And then meanwhile, I'm over here like, I just want to cry, but nothing's happening. Chemicals work for me.
Cut some onions.
Bitch.
It'll be okay.
I hate you. Not you. I own
Well,
you. I adore you.
I hadn't considered that. Now I'm questioning.
No.
But that's what I appreciate. Straightforward but kind. I had a friend who once was that blunt friend, but she was using bluntness. Oh yeah, I don't like when people are like, I'm just being honest to be a bitch. And I'm like, there's a difference and you're making me look bad, so stop.
Right. Well, there's a lot of people who are like, I give the what's like the blunt. There's a word for it, like the the cruel truth or whatever. There's a word.
Yeah, it's the like, fuck, what is it? It's the blunt but honest truth.
There's a word for it. The whatever. I've had
We
alcohol.
don't know. We know what we mean.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I do feel like you can be honest and straightforward without being cruel. It's when you do that and people are still offended that you're like, what do you want from me? I said this scene is slow, and then they're like crying, and I'm like, what do you want? That was the nice way of saying it's boring as hell. Okay, what else do I have to say? Damn it.
Yeah, I used to hate crying when I was bad, especially when I used to get into like arguments with my dad as a teenager, because he would be like, "You're just trying to cry to get out of this," and I'm like, "I'm not controlling it. I'm a teenager." And yes, that is exactly what I would yell back, because I haven't changed, y'all. 20 years. Just how I am. Centaurs? What about centaurs? Who's talking about centaurs?
I don't know, but
Explain,
I like centaurs.
explain. Oh, here we go. Same, Jenna, all the inside feels. Rowan gets it. Oh gosh, I give extensive reasoning for all my answers. I mean, that's fine. You do you.
Right.
Inside feels for days, the face does not express.
I can relate, Matt.
My face is too yes. My face is too expressionate. My bestie will message me sometimes when I make certain expressions on stream, and I'll be like, "Ooh."
Well, my face, that's how my eyebrows are very expressive, and people will be like, wow, your eyebrows are crazy. I'm like, yeah.
I can hide my eyebrows behind my glass frame.
I love that.
I had to reteach myself to allow myself to show emotions. I had a sentence. I forgot it though, so we're moving.
I salute you. That's my sentence.
There you go. I may be a Pisces, but I fucking hate crying.
That sounds like something a Pisces would say. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We love you, bisexual witches. Fuck.
I like Pisces, okay? Okay.
I almost cried yesterday, but I'm upset that I didn't take the opportunity. I'm sorry. I'm so accustomed to being able to cry that if I can't cry, I get unreasonably angry. So I'm so saddened by all of you guys' struggle. Yes, wanting to cry, and I hate it. Crying doesn't pay the rent. I have heard that phrase. I'm sorry. I cry when... Nope.
I laugh and smile when I'm angry, and it just makes the person think I'm kidding. And I'm like, I'm not kidding! Big smile. I'm not kidding. I want you to die. Like, it's a problem.
So when I fuck up and when I feel guilty, I laugh.
Oh, good. We're the same.
I feel like when I feel bad, this is like my expression when I feel bad. And my little sister, like, she didn't understand that for a really long time. So like I would do something to her and then I would feel bad and she'd get so angry at me and I would feel even worse because I knew that my laughing was making her feel worse. But I couldn't stop laughing long enough to explain to her what I felt bad. And I was just like, I'm so sorry.
I love that. So that's like the best thing I've heard all day. But yeah, I remember I was working at Starbucks and this guy was being a total dick to me at work. And I was finally confronting him. I like built up the courage and I was like, you're being such a dick to me. And he was just like, what's going on here? And he did not take me too seriously because I was smiling and laughing the whole way. And I was like, this is what happens to me when I'm mad. And he still didn't. Long story short, it did not work. Nothing happened, but he ended up quitting. And I don't know what happened to him. He's probably fucking a telemarketer somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, it just didn't work out because he did not take me seriously because I was laughing and smiling the whole way. I can't even remember his name. I think it might have been Ryan.
I didn't expect that leap. brutal honesty, the hard truth, telling it like it is. These are all
brutal. I think it was brutal honesty. People like I appreciate straightforwardness, but brutal honesty is kind of like, hey, you're a piece of shit. Die. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need that. Will be see, Moody Weather knows it.
Yeah, I have quite a few family members who like use the phrase that they're just being like brutally honest, or they're just being frank but honest, or it's like, oh, I'm blunt but honest, and I'm like, but you could have said it differently, and this is coming from Virgo. I'm just saying.
And I'm like a very straightforward person, and I try really, really hard to be polite, and sometimes it's still not polite enough. So when I hear people saying like brutally honest, it's like, to me that means I'm being an asshole when I could say it a different way. You know, like you could have said, instead of your book is boring, you could have said it was slow. You know, and that might still be hurtful, but at least it's not the same as you're boring. I want to fucking kill myself. Just saying.
I was skimming through the comments, and sometimes when I read, it takes me a while to process what I'm hearing, but that's why my laugh was delayed.
I love it.
See, I'm not the only one.
That makes me feel better because you laugh when you're guilty. I laugh when I'm angry. So
I do. And then, like I said, it's a whole circle, because the other person, if they don't know, they just think I'm mocking them. And then I feel even worse. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know why I emotionally react this way to guilt.
I love it. That makes me feel better.
Matt and Jesse are discussing his whip.
Ooh.
I don't know the context, but I agree.
I love that
statement in general.
Yeah.
Oh, happy belated birthday to Audra.
Happy birthday, Audra! Woo! Are you what season are we in? We're like coming in. We're like Gemini Leo season. Yes. So you're probably a Gemini, that's my assumption. Happy birthday. What about Sagittarius personalities? You guys are
Leo.
That's what I meant. Cancer or Gemini. Cancer, Gemini.
Yes.
Yes, sorry, you're probably a Cancer or a Gemini. Okay, Sagittarius personalities. You're a mom of a Sagittarius, so you'll probably have better things to say. My assumption of Sagittarius is that you are very Sagittarius are the people. Huh?
I am both a mom and a daughter.
Oh, there we go.
So I got two perspectives.
Sagittarius are the people where I come around them and I just smile. They just make me smile. They have that energy of like lightheartedness and sweetness and fun. The thing about Sagittarius is that the negative things is that they can be very flaky, and they can be very non-committal, which I guess goes back to flaky, and they can be kind of like, crass a bitch and we will cut you. So that's my assumption. That's my analysis of Sagittarius.
Sagittariuses are fun until they're not.
Yeah.
Right.
That's basically what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my mom very easily went from, she's part of the reason that I love cleaning, because she used to like clean the house dancing around with like MTV or the country equivalent that I can't remember what it's called anymore on the TV. And just, sweeping or singing to it all, and like she used to serenade us and everything. But then also, if we interrupted her soap operas, we were no longer her children. She didn't know who we were. We now belong to our father, and that was the end of it. Don't interrupt her Jason hour, heavens forbid. And my daughter is very similar. She is aggressively independent, but also needs help with everything. So she'll like ask you how to do something, and then you help her, and then suddenly you're an inconvenience, and how dare you be helping her? And she's like, "I'll do it," or "Go away," or something like that, and you're like, "Child, you came to me." Or she'll come into my room, and yes, Michael. So
Hi,
she will
Michael.
come. You want to say hi?
Hi. Hey, Michael. What's up? Hi.
This is Jenna.
I see that in your photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be a big YouTube star? Awesome.
Are you done? Speaking of the Sagittarius, she just pop up in my lap, not even
Hi.
asking.
That's very Sagittarius of you. Hi, Roxy.
I got
Hi.
Minecraft toy.
You can Minecraft?
Yeah, I got Ender Dragon.
What is that?
Ender Dragon.
You're the dragon?
Yeah.
I love dragons.
What? Bye.
Bye. I tried.
Okay, she's 5. She doesn't have. She's 5 into Sagittarius. She got what she wanted, attention. Literally, that's what she does.
What I got out of that is that she's the dragon. It probably was something Ender Dragon, whatever.
Yeah, she got an Ender Dragon. It's a little stuffed black square dragon from a video game.
I don't know these things. I'm not hip with it.
All right. It's okay. I don't fully know what the Ender Dragon is. I just know it's a dragon in Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
So apparently, chat knows what Ender Dragon is.
Yes, I see that they're all schooling me, and I'm like, bitch, I don't have any kids. I don't know. Leave me alone.
Thank you. Chris and my genetics did a good job. All right, so I think we can do another sprint.
Okay.
And then that'll be our last sprint, and then we can just hang or end the stream, whichever you want to do.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, because Chris is home for another week. Because to everybody who doesn't know, we were screened for COVID last week, and they were like, "Ma'am, you were just having your migraine disorder. It's fine, sir. You have the flu." And then, then he took me to the doctor today just to get a note for the flu. And his doctor like looked at the thing and he's like, "Oh, you have H influenza. That's a bacterial one. You can't go to work this week. I'm gonna write you a note."
Oh wow!
So he has to take antibiotics for it.
Oh
so
shit!
He's home for the week. Which he's about. Let me make sure the timer restarted.
I'm gonna use this break to pee.
I am too. So see our lovely backgrounds for a moment. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. And we back.
Yay!
How did everybody do? I did 278.
Did 441.
Awesome. I also may have given a character new power that they didn't previously have. It's fine.
That makes
It's fine.
it, that counts for like 1,000 words right there. I did nothing of a sort, but that's because I was scripting a video. So
That's fair though. I see talks of Minecraft. Yes, children, Minecraft. I said the word. See, I like that the screens make it seem like we're the same height when really you're like half a foot taller than me.
Hi, sweetheart.
You want to say hi, Gabe?
Hi.
You're the only one who hasn't said hi. So
Vampire.
Hi.
Hello, vampire man.
it's Jenna.
Hello, Jenna.
Hi, I love your vampire teeth.
Are you done?
No.
She came back.
I like playing Minecraft with my butter.
Wow.
And I like playing Puzzle Zombie on my friend with +3 in Minecraft. In
Wow.
+3.
That's great. I'm jealous. I want to join.
Very good.
Mhm. And you can batter the minigame. You have to click minigame and you can batter your friend.
Oh, wow. That sounds fun.
All right, now go finish your dinner.
I complimented him on his vampire teeth. I love his teeth so much.
He loves getting compliments on them now because he just goes like to demonstrate.
That's what he did. He knows. He knows he's a little vampire warlord. He knows it.
I forgot we were watching something and he like looked at the TV and he's like, "Wait, they have vampire teeth. Their teeth look like my teeth." And that's kind of when it clicked. And ever since then, he's
like,
been upset. Yes. Right. Does drinking tea count? Sure.
Totally.
Hey, 179. I finished dinner. Both good accomplishments. Hey, I have some of those recommendations YouTube videos. I feel like I'm missing context there. 1476. You are just a type of machine, yo.
I can type 120 words per minute, but I like have to pause to think about it. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's a story. You gotta stop. You gotta think about it. So
Back in my heyday, I could type out like 2,000-3,000 words in a half hour, and now I'm lucky if I hit 1,000 in a day. So 197's awesome. 262, aw yeah. Edited. Distractions happen. 134, aw yeah. 200, new draft. I wrote a practice blurb. Yeah, you can always fix something that exists. You cannot fix something that does not exist. 432 words. 150. 48. 441. I got to the super awkward scene. What's the super awkward? What makes it super awkward?
a penis.
That could make things super awkward in a number of scenarios. 167. Ah, yeah. Matt wishes to borrow some of your typing capabilities. See, the world needs to know. 311. Ah, yeah.
Go
Hello,
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Hello, small human. Yes. Okay. Character B kidnapped character A and they just met again and are trying to have a civil yeah, that could make things a little tense.
Hello, you kidnapped me. Hello, I kidnapped you. Let's discuss the weather.
So remember that time I kidnapped you? Yeah, but here's the thing. I also kidnapped you. I guess we're even.
I love it.
Yep, all three today. And they probably love you, random citizen. So I like Megamind too much. Always whenever someone's like, I love you, I'm like, I love you too, random citizen. Even to my mother sometimes, and she just goes, I am not a random citizen. I gave birth to you. So. I'm writing an opposites attract scene for my MC and romantic interest. Opposites attract.
I tend to believe, and I feel like Sam can relate, given her partnership, is I feel like opposites attract on the surface level, but then you have to be the same on the underneath level. Like you compliments on the under the surface, level. But on the surface level, opposites attract.
Yeah. I think it's like there's a balancing act to it, because you gotta have the things that you do together and then the things that you do separately.
Exactly.
And genetically, you have to have opposing immune systems, because that is apparently the only genetic thing that we are attracted to the opposite of, is somebody who has an immune system that's different from our own, because that's the one thing that kids inherit both of.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
I didn't know that until like last year or something, because I was talking to their pediatrician, because I'm a carrier, and I'm like, well, I carry strep throat, so anytime any of the kids even get a remote symptom of strep throat, I go get tested. And they're like, oh, that's interesting, they will probably be a carrier or something too, because they'll have your and your husband's immune system. And I'm like, what?
What? I am de-shining myself. I'll never know. I'll only know like what Buttercup experiences. I'm like, Butters, can you catch what we have?
I had 3. I fulfill you and my sister's quota of children.
There you go. There you go. I have furry children.
That's what I tell my little sister, because she's like, I just want to be a forever aunt. And I'm like, just tell people your older sister had 3. You're good.
Exactly.
Population
secure. I'm the cool aunt. That's what I say. I'm like, I'm the cool aunt, and Cliff is the funkle, right? Oh no, wait. The gunkle is the gay uncle, and then the funkle is the fun uncle. But I feel like there's no matter what you do, if you abbreviate uncle, you're the creepy uncle. So we'll just call him the uncle, like regular.
See, with Funkle, I was like, he's the funky uncle?
I mean, that could work too, but I mean, no matter what, it's creepy. Yeah.
Unfortunately, society. Damn, girl looking fly as hell with that strep throat resistance. How did you know that's the first pickup line he ever used? It's apparently like more common than people realize.
I'm not a carrier for strep, but I am asthmatic, so that's my pickup. Hello.
My little sister she's asthmatic and she's got fibromyalgia. Aww. So she has a fun time in the not summer months.
Oh yeah. Ugh, no thank you. No thank you.
The first time the doctor told me, I was like, what? See, part of the reason I switched doctors was because I was like, my old doctor, I told him, I'm like, so I'm a carrier of strep throat. And he just kind of like gave me this look like I'm making up what a carrier. Like, this is, I'm like, you're a doctor. You should know what, yeah, he was. I'm like, you should know what a carrier is. And the nurse like came in because he was like, we'll test you. Like, he's just humoring me. And the nurse comes in and I'm like, yeah, I'm a carrier for strep throat. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and test you. And she's like, oh, yeah, your pustules, you've like had it for 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, good. Yay.
Right? So. Fuck you, doctor. Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, Cliff having CRPS, we see doctors at least once a week. And they just don't trust you. You know, they just don't believe anything you have to say, especially for a woman. And it's just like,
see, we finally, with our current doctor, I adore him. He is like the first doctor I feel just like takes us 100% seriously, like all the time. Like, you know, with today, he just checked Chris. He didn't even ask Chris how long he wanted to be out of work. It was just, here's your note. You're not going back this week. Right. And like with me, I told him, I was like, so Dr. Jackson, I was researching, you know, migraines and stuff. And my doctor, he like straight up told me when I told him that I thought I had migraines, he's like, I'm not super familiar with migraines, so I myself have to do more research. But he took what I said to heart and, you know, he was like, I'll go ahead and get you on a preventative and I'll schedule this thing for you. And like when I told him, I'm like, I'm having memory issues, which could be a symptom of the brain fog or something. He's like, well, hold on. Your medication can give 1 to 11% of people memory issues. So I prescribed it on this date. If, you know, your memory issues would have been happening between these times if it was the medication. And Chris is like, oh, yeah, no, that actually adds up perfectly. So my doctor's just like, all right, we'll get you this medication. This is what it usually does. And this is why people don't take it. Or we can get you a shot. And like, I was just like this. He's like, or no shot. And it's just like, I'm like, maybe I'll suck it up. It's just once a month, maybe. But I really appreciated that, just like, because I couldn't control the reaction. I have a phobia of needles. So when he's like shot, but as opposed to like making me feel bad about it or treating me like a big baby or anything, he was just like, or not, it's okay. I love him so much.
Yeah,
And
Cliff has a new pain doctor, and we only found out about her through fluke. I won't go into the whole thing, but we found out about her basically because another doctor was not taking Cliff seriously. And when we met her, who it was not even in her field, she was like, "Oh, you have CRPS," and we're like, "Yeah, we kind of figured that, but no one would diagnose him." And we didn't even mention it. She was like, "Oh, you have CRPS," which is the most basically, CRPS is a chronic pain disorder, but of all the chronic pain disorders, CRPS is the worst, right? So she was like, "Oh yeah, I think you have CRPS," and we're like, "Yeah, we thought that too, but we, you know, no one would diagnose it." And she's like, "Well, it's been in your charts. People have been speculating. Doctors have been speculating it for fucking 5 years. They just never mentioned it to you." And we're like, "Oh, that's great." So she's like, "No, it definitely adds up." And since then, she has been helping us out and actually taking it seriously. And it was just crazy to know that it's been in his chart for 5 years, but no one was diagnosing him. They were just kind of like toying with the idea. And she's like, "No, I mean, like, how many more years do we need of evidence?" Yeah. She's like, "No, this is what you have." And it's just so frustrating because it's like, you know, you can't get the medicine or the treatment unless you have the right doctor. And
yeah, I'm glad that you found her then, because that's bullshit. Like, they didn't even tell you they were speculating.
Nope. We looked it up online and we brought it to her. Like, we think he might have CRPS. And she's like, "Oh, is it because of XYZ doctor?" And we're like, "No, it's because of Google research." And she's like, "Oh, it's been in your chart for 5 years. Like, they think you might have CRPS, but they haven't diagnosed you." And she's like, "Let's run the tests." And we're like, "This whole time it's been 5 fucking years and no one ran any tests." Yeah. And now she's running the tests. Like, what the fuck? So, and then he got diagnosed with it. And we're like, apparently Google is the key.
Today I brought up to my doctor that, because I told you about it, I think that the PTSD, I felt like it was feeding into the migraines and the migraines were feeding into it. And then an article popped up from the migraine.com that was like, there's comorbidity or something, which are basically diseases that run together and feed into each other. And migraines and PTSD is listed on there. And I told my doctor that today, and he's like, yes. And that's part of why my migraine medication now has the
when anxiety. When this stream is all over, talk to me, because that is part of Cliff's neuro treatment that he's going through. It's all the connected PTSD with CRPS, pain in general, pain,
And trauma.
disorders. Yeah, pain disorders and trauma disorders. They are all linked to, a lot of them are linked to PTSD, even if you don't think you have PTSD. A lot of it is linked together. That is literally what we are going through with the neurology treatment. So message me after the stream and we can discuss it, because that's literally they pain and basically mental trauma and everything. It all goes together. So you are 100% right, is what I'm saying.
TM says, my mom has fibro and she's hyper paranoid that I'm going to end up with it as well because my grandma had it too. I don't think you can develop it, or like, I don't think it shows up. I'm not an expert, and I know that fibromyalgia is one of those things that ranges differently, but like for my sister, it showed up in her teen years. Like she hit puberty and that's when her fibromyalgia acted up.
Everyone I know with fibro got it at the latest by college. So
yeah, like, so you're probably in the clear, but definitely bring it up to your doctor that you have a history of it in your family. Oh, bye. Some people's was bouncing. Fun uncle. No, that's the.
Isn't that the same thing?
It can be.
The uncle.
My friend broke his tendon because his doctor told him to over-exercise his hand, thinking he would under-exercise his hand. And what? That's just no. Why would you do that? Excuse me. I am a dumpkle. We're sure you're a good Uncle Matt. CB, I am wounded. I've all this time. It's okay. You somehow still show up to the streams, so. I don't remember that I'm a carrier of. I remember because not traumatized in a bad way, but when I was 8 years old, my entire 4th grade class got strep throat 4 times except for 4 of us, right? The other 3 people must have just like not spoken to me or did anything with me, I guess. But then I finally got it, and you know, my mom was like, oh, "Okay, no surprise, you know, all the other 4th graders have gotten strep like 4 times now." We go to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Your daughter has probably like, from the pustules and the signs and everything in her immune system, she's probably had this for over a month." And my mom was like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's extremely." They're like, "Yeah, she's a carrier. It's extremely common for carriers not to show symptoms for like a month or more." And I was just like, and the only symptom I had was my throat was finally sore. That was my throat was just finally sore. And so, and they were like, she can take this medicine for like 4 weeks and be fine, or we can give her a shot and she can go back to school in 2 days. And I was like, I'll take the medicine. And my mom's like, she's giving her the shot. And I'm like, no. but don't I get to choose? And she's like, no, you're not being home for a month. And I was like, no. So that's how I know. And then from that point on, I had to, anytime anybody got strep, my mom was like, we gotta take her to get tested.
Oh no.
She probably has it. And I was just like, I'm not taking a shot. And then she would sit on me.
Oh no.
Moms do what they gotta do.
Meanwhile, I was the very unhealthy asthmatic kid, so I literally had to get 2 shots a week until I was 14. So I am so immune to needles, like I just don't give a shit. Like I got a blood clot in my arm when I was 19, and I had to get my blood drawn once or twice a week for like a few months, and I would just be like, "Here are my veins, go for it." And I remember one time the doctor who's drawing my blood, she's drawing my blood, and she's talking to me, and there was a crack in the vial, and she's holding the vial, and it's just spraying blood all over her, and she's just talking to me, talking about her family, and I'm just there like, and then finally I'm like, "There's blood everywhere," and she looks down, she's like, "Whoa."
See, for me, I don't mind getting my blood drawn. That I'm fine with that. I don't, as long as I don't see it go in, I can like look at it be in and all of that. It's just something about the needle going in. And my mom thinks it's because I had a weird pediatrician when I was an infant. And if I had a fever or anything, they would not give me any of my vaccines. So then they would have to wait until I didn't have a fever. And infants get fevers like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then instead of giving me a delayed vaccine schedule, they'd just give me 8 to 10 shots at a time. And so,
No.
yeah, and I'm all like, the only reason I even like overcame needles as much as I did is because when I was pregnant, I was like, I love my children. I want my I love my children. I want my children. And that's it. Other than that, if not for that, to this day, I would be like, I'll just die. It's fine.
Right. Yeah, for me, it was just like I was such a sickly kid growing up that at first, obviously, I hated it. And then I just kind of got used to it. And so now I'm just like, I'm a pincushion. Stick a needle in me. I don't give a shit. Whatever. But yeah, and I just remember that when I was like 19 years old, staring at that. I forgot what they're called, like hematologist or whatever. She's just talking to me about her grandchildren. And I'm just like, there is blood everywhere.
Ma'am, that's not all of that should be
Right.
needed.
Yeah, she looks
But
down. She's like,
I
oh
might
my.
need some of it. Just
Oh my. She looks down. She's like, I need a new vial. I'm like, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, that could be why they got worse. There's a website called like migraine.com, which is kind of set up as it's supposed to be this kind of social media / informative thing. Basically, it's just a huge website for people with migraines to talk about their migraines. They all write little like thought pieces on the type of migraines they have or what they know about migraines, some migraine treatments and all of that. I should join it, but I just enjoy reading the articles as they pop up on my Facebook. So, but I do recommend it. It looks like a really fun site. Well, not fun, but
Yeah.
you know.
Fun.
Yeah. See, the trick is to just keep putting yourself through it until you find one, because once you find the one that listens, everything will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just
'cause,
have to
like,
get through the assholes. And that's
you
just how
do.
it is.
Like for me, I went from throwing up on the daily, and I mean like 4 or 5 times a day, I would just throw up vomit, and sometimes I could barely eat and everything, and having extreme fatigue and all of that, and barely being like, all I could do is pretty much just keep my children alive, and that was it. And now I still get flare-ups, and like this week I was bedridden, but it was just a week, and that was it. And now I'm feeling a lot better, so -5 is better than -10.
Exactly.
So that is good to know. Yes, they are. Trauma is not fun. But was she suffering from it before then? Because there's my brain. There's a difference between how long you've been suffering from something and when you get diagnosed. Like I just got diagnosed with migraine. Well, I'm not even actually technically diagnosed with migraines, even though it says I have a migraine disorder. So, and I'm almost 30, but I have had them since I was 16. And that's the important thing to find out. Was she just living with the pain and everything for that long? Or did she just genuinely not develop it until that late in life? And like my mom lived with migraines since she was a kid, and she didn't get diagnosed until she was in her 30s, but she had them since she was 3 or 4. I forgot how old. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Might not be relevant, but interesting.
I meant to click out of a comment and accidentally clicked on that one. Okay, well, here we go. There's that. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I just
right. Everyone wants to diagnose. And I'm sitting here like, I'm on the autism spectrum, and it's not.
I just
not always autism.
I just know the averages, and just take my medication for example. 1 to 11% of people suffer memory issues from that, which means 89% of people don't. And I was just in that tiny percentage. So it is what it is sometimes.
Right.
So do people feel slightly awkward when writing sex scenes too? I never felt awkward writing
Nope.
sex scenes.
Not even a little bit. I
Oh.
mean, they're not. What was that? The Gay Raven?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll leave it up.
The Gay Raven, they're not real. You invented them. So you're not intruding on anything because they don't exist. So I don't feel awkward writing sex scenes because the way I see it is they don't have sex unless I write it because they don't exist unless I write it. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know if that sounds mean. That is 100% not my intention. It's just that people, like, we all get invested in our characters. We love our characters. I adore my characters. I love them, but I'm still like logical and rational enough to know that they're not real. I'll write for them and everything, but while I'm writing for them, I'm very aware of the fact that, you know, it's not real. And I don't feel awkward or guilty writing their sex scene because they're not going to have sex unless I write it because I invented them. So sorry.
So with me and sex scenes, I actually I used to write sex scenes as a teenager because I didn't know what demisexual was, and I thought that I was broken. And so that was my way of exploring sexuality and trying to figure out sexuality and sex. And I was like, well, maybe if I write this kind of sex scene, I'll feel something. Or maybe if I write this kind of sex scene or that one or stuff. So I like very heavily researched sex scenes and how to write them. And then as I grew older and, you know, actually started having sex and stuff and figured out my sexuality, I actually lost interest in writing sex scenes at all. So now I just fade to black. But even if I wrote them now, I wouldn't feel awkward about it because it's just two people having sex and that's just a thing.
This is why we're friends. Well, part of the reason I'm gray sexual, which is like a, you know, demisexuality is part of gray sexuality.
Yep.
And for me, sex it's never like it's not that big of a deal, but people make it out to be this big deal. And so when I write sex scenes, it's just not that uncomfortable for me because I see it just as like it's just like a human function that some people do and some people don't, you know, kind of like anything else that some people do and some people don't, you know what I mean? And people get so uncomfortable and people constantly write me like, how do you write sex scenes knowing your parents are going to read it? And the way I look at it is like, well, my parents had sex to make me. Like, they're aware that sex exists. If they are uncomfortable, the fact that their 33-year-old daughter is aware of the existence of sex, that is not my problem because I'm a fucking adult who like owns a house and lives with a man and like is living her life. If they're uncomfortable with the idea that a 33-year-old woman is aware of the idea of intercourse, like that's their problem to worry about. Mm-hmm. And it may be because I'm gray sexual and I don't experience sexual attraction the way normal people do, but I just don't think it's that awkward or that big of a deal. And it's also why I can be so critical of sex scenes when I read them, because because for me, you know, it's not as cut and dry as he's hot, I want to bone him. Like, I don't experience that, you know? So I'll read a sex scene and I'm like, why is this going on? This is weird. And I will always reserve a little like thought molecule about how like, well, it's just because they're attracted to each other and I can't relate to that. I'll always reserve a little bit of that. But I do also feel like maybe it should be a little bit more than that to make it a little bit more engaging and interesting. So just in general, sex scenes have never made me feel awkward unless they're written to be awkward. Like unless they're written in a way where it's like, you didn't do a good job here. Fix it up.
If I get to a sex scene and I'm all like, maybe we should not, I just kind of skim past it because I'm like, no.
Yeah, I've read a lot where I'm just like, why? Why did you do this? I'm releasing a video about the 10 worst erotica tropes, and I literally break down I literally break down one of the worst sex scenes I've ever read. And the sad thing is that there were so many to choose from, and I just picked this one. And there were comparable ones to choose from, and I'm just going through it, and my friends are reading it like, "Oh my gosh, this is hysterical," and I'm like, "This is not that uncommon." And yeah, it's just
I also think
how it goes.
Part of how you're raised to view sex helps too, because when people are like, well, what if your parents read your sex scene? And I'm like, my parents hit on each other and liked to, after we were adults, like to tease my sister that they were going to have sex in her computer chair. Like, I don't really think them reading my sex scene makes any difference in my life, y'all. That's just how my family is. It's just a thing that couples do.
But the
Sometimes
thing is that my family was very like about sex, and I still don't care about my family reading sex scenes because, and it's just like it can be a part of like how you were raised, and also a part of just like your own mentality. Because, like I said, I'm gray sexual, so I experience sexual attraction differently than the average allosexual person. And for me, it's not awkward for my family to read this stuff because to me, it's just kind of like we're all adults here. And if you don't if you're awkward about sex, then don't read my books. That's an easy solution. Just put the book down and don't read it. It is 100% your choice. It is free will. And if you are uncomfortable with graphic violence or sexual situations or the word fuck, then don't read the book. And that's how I look at it. And whenever my family is like, I want to read your book, I just say, just so you know, there's going to be sexual stuff. There's going to be decapitations, and there's going to be the word fuck and cunt. So if you don't like that, then don't read it. If you are fine with that, read at your own, choice.
Enjoy it.
Exactly. That's just how I look at it. And people get so uncomfortable about their family reading their stuff. And the way I look at it is, are you an adult? If yes, then be an adult, just do what you want to do. Exactly.
That this can be a thing, especially if your estrogen levels rise, because estrogen can be a migraine trigger, which is also why women tend to experience migraines at a higher rate than men, and why menstrual cycles can trigger migraines. Some of my worst migraines are during PMS.
Have you ever tried progesterone? I genuinely have no idea if it would work, but progesterone
I don't know.
With high stress situations.
I don't know because I hesitate putting any outside hormone just because of how my body reacts to birth control. I'm like,
I understand. No questions. I get it.
Yeah, we have more people who don't feel awkward. Just awkward people reading them. Well, you can always fade to black if that bugs you. Not mean at all. I totally get where you're coming from. That's good advice too. Woohoo! Demisexual party, Grace Club. Don't you have a video on this?
Yeah, I've got a video on how to write sex
scenes. Got a video on
this. I mean, I write it like all my other scenes. I just go to my outline. Oh, it's a sex scene, and then I write it. It's not that special. It's just like their genitals are getting smushed together. That's what's happening.
Probably not it. But I just mildly imagine in your outline, there's just like checklist for the sex scene, like stripped clothes, done. On bed, done. Orgasm.
Exactly. Done. Yeah. Another orgasm, done.
Done.
Love it.
Also a good answer.
On her computer, yes, stick nose.
My mom made the mistake of telling me I could talk to her about anything I need to, so she's aware of my sex life, so there's no embarrassment there. That's fair.
I didn't know SL means sex life, so now I know.
I assume there was nothing else that could have, but maybe I am wrong.
Slinky length.
That's a lot about that slinky length. Plastic slinky, rubber slinky, metal slinky. What? Also, one of the issues that makes it perhaps a tiny bit awkward is just like boing and being like, bro, it's just writing. You don't need to respond yet.
Does that mean you're getting a boner from writing it? I don't get it. Is that what he's saying?
Maybe. I do hear that they can be
The boing.
uncontrollable. That's.
I don't have the right parts, so I don't.
Yes.
The
Alas,
parts.
awkward boners are not an experience for which I can attest.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Tatiana going the same parts. The same parts.
I did have a lot of guy friends. I was like, the girl in the guy friend group. So I do like know that guys get awkward boners at random times, whether or not they want them or have reason for them. So maybe that's it.
Yeah, but like girls get wet at random times. It's just like fucking let it go. It's not a big of a deal. It's only a big deal if you make it one. Gay Raven.
I forgot that was a screen name.
Yeah.
At first I was like, why are you calling me a gay bird?
Gay pigeon, Sam.
Hey, pigeons are cool.
Gay albatross. Demisexual albatross. Now you're like a really big bird.
Good, because I'm not a big person. Sam turning into a science class, and always, every time. Oh, okay. I'm a deacon's daughter. That just reminds me of the song Preacher's Son.
I don't know. I'm from California.
Oh, it's an old song. Who sings it? I have to look that up now. Hold on. Preacher's Son. Son of a Preacher Man. That's the song.
Son of a preacher man.
Yep, that song. What did I do? What are you blaming me for? Oh, did they find your cake?
Oh no. Oh no.
They found his cake. Now they want cake.
Okay, well then the whole cake is pineapple.
Gabe.
The cake is pineapple.
Gabriel wants the pineapple cake, but he doesn't like pineapple, so he's having a crisis.
Hi, Vampire Man. My little vampire, I want to suck your pineapple cake.
Yeah, this is the song. I try not to sing because I'm afraid that I will sing too much and then get copyright struck.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I have to mute when I'm like typing and stuff. Seagulls are beautiful babies. Are they though? I just remember going to the beach with Chris in Florida, and they were not my friends. Hello, human.
Human.
Yeah, that is children in a nutshell, right
Gemini, air signs, we are crazy, but lovely.
She says we are.
Yeah.
Like she is also a Gemini.
No, I said air signs.
Oh. I didn't hear the air signs.
Air signs. I respect my air sign family.
Be careful, YouTube has been trigger happy. Yeah, I know, like my first 3 live streams, they like cut me short. But it's fine. Fire signs, Rick, shit. Fire signs like to puff up their chest. And
I'm a fire sign. Sorry. Don't ask me. I'm like mean to everything except for
Gemini.
I'm like, oh, fire sign, I am never wrong. But I do like fire signs, okay? You guys just need to learn how to apologize.
Ain't that the truth? Don't know what you're talking about, Matt. They're the devil's bird. Yeah, I was raised by a fire. What is Sagittarius? Sagittarius is a fire sign.
Fire sign,
right?
yeah.
I was raised by 2 fire signs, and I just realized this. I was raised by 2 fire signs, and both of my sisters are Aries, so they are also fire signs. I was the only Earth amongst all this damn fire. I was a volcano.
Yeah, my family is literally like the Zodiac. It's like my dad's a fire sign, my mom's an earth sign, my sister's a water sign, and I'm an air sign. Together we are, what is the, like, airbender? We're like the fucking last airbender or whatever it is. So,
Aang. You are Aang.
I'm Aang. Woo! I don't know anything about it, but yeah.
I just started watching that with the kids. Gabriel is obsessed now.
Because he gets to be the airbender.
Oh,
You're the one creeping.
I'm a Scorpio.
I know you're a Scorpio. Go, like, get yourself pretty and then come here.
No.
Taurus is a earth sign, Sunita, and earth sign. Taurus is one of the worst signs. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I've had alcohol. I'm just going to say it. Taurus is one of the worst signs. But I love you. I love you for who you are. We are the earth.
We are the Earth. Da-da-da-da.
No more.
Look, Fox, I'm gonna get into the Zodiac every stream. I am the poster child for Virgo. Just live with it.
Where's Fox? I missed him.
He doesn't comment in the chat.
Okay. I'm like, Fox,
Yeah,
hello.
secret.
I missed you.
And then I call him out on stream, and then he grumbles at me in DMs. I just went in my DMs. But yeah, it's funny because I actually think now, thinking back, that's probably why it took me so long to adjust to interacting with like water and air signs, because I was just surrounded by fire. Fire signs they may have a temper and they might like to puff up their chest, but they like don't generally hold a grudge for long, or
And
not a serious one.
And the thing is that they got your back, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if some shit happens, the fire sign's gonna be like running up like, bitch! They're gonna get in the other person's face. Fire signs have your back, but that same energy will be held against you. So it's just
That's like
good to
me.
know.
Yeah, like me and my sisters. It's that whole thing where it's like, what the fuck you say about I can call my sister a bitch, but don't you fucking think about it. I will end you. That's my sister.
Exactly. It's like, I can call my sister a bitch, but you can't call my sister a bitch. I love that. I'm an Aquarius and I've said that. So, but it hasn't been the word bitch, but still.
Yeah. I'm a Virgo in the Western Zodiac and a horse in the Chinese Zodiac, and horses are also fire. So that's part of why I make my volcano.
I don't know
dress.
what my sign is. Like in
What year were you born?
I'm a bunny. I'm a bunny.
You're like Michael.
Really?
Yeah. Which means you were 24 when he was born.
That makes sense. That checks out.
Roxy is a horse and a Sagittarius, which basically just means she's a super
fire. So how do you figure out like what the element is for your Eastern Zodiac?
So each of the Chinese Zodiac has 2 elements. There will be the element that is typical of them, like horses are I actually think horses are usually metal, but then the year you're born also gives you an element. So like, I'm a metal fire horse.
I'm a fire. Okay, I'm fire. So bunnies are fire. 1987, fire. I'm a fire bunny.
And I find it particularly interesting because there's certain like Virgo traits that I just kind of lack, like the whole introversion thing. But then horses are extremely like extroverted and in your face and aggressive and stuff. And I'm like, oh, so that's where it comes from. It makes sense now.
Now I gotta research fire bunnies. That's what I'm gonna call myself now. Like, I'm a fire bunny. It sounds kind of like mildly sexual, but
you're just a little rabbit. You're a rabbit with like this. Your tail is on fire.
Yeah, it's kind of like Ponyta from the. Is that what her name was from Pokemon? But a bunny. So instead of like a fiery mane, it's like fiery ears. I'll take it.
Nah. Also, Taurus, I can hold a grudge for it. Tauruses do be holding them grudges.
It'll be a fucking
Were you-
10 years from now and be like, something.
Were you born in 89? 89 is snake. I only know that because
Aries!
all
Sorry.
of my friends were 89 in high school. Aries, Taurus, cusp. I like
love
Aries. Aries are like the fire sign that gets like beat on the most, much like Virgo is the earth sign that gets beat on the most. But
I like Aries. Like people always
So do
hate on
I.
Aries. People
Look.
always hate on Aries for being like too intense, and I'm like, have you seen Leo and Sagittarius? Like,
Oh my
fuck,
God, yes.
they're intense too. But Aries can actually rein it in, you know, and Leo and
For me-
Sagittarius can't.
For me, that's just like, oh, you think my sisters are intense? Have you met our parents? Because my sisters are Aries and then our parents are Leo and Sagittarius. It comes full circle with me.
I like Aries. I get along with them. They can be intense, but they can also rein it in. You know, I don't know. I like them. But then again, I made my villain an Aries, so what do I know? Brondis.
I'm missing one fire sign in my family. And I'm trying to remember what the fourth fire sign is.
Aries. No. It's 3.
Oh
6,
no, there's only 3 of each.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah, it's Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. See, my family is, my dad's a Leo, my mom is a Virgo, my sister's a Cancer, and I'm an Aquarius, and we like make the quadfecta. And then Cliff's the Gemini, so then it's like two air signs, and then my brother-in-law is an earth sign, and he's a Taurus. Yeah. And then we just need one more fire sign and one more water sign. I'm an earth dragon. Earth dragon. Ooh. I'm a ram. Interesting.
My little sister is a ram. That means you were born in 95.
A Viger. Or a Turgo. Ox. Jesse's a Capricorn, right? So he's an oxricorn.
So what's funny is like, because I'm a Virgo and a horse, so if I like try to mix them, I'm basically a centaur. I'm just like
Yes, I love it. Oh my gosh. What am I? A fucking bunny pouring water? That doesn't work. Damn it.
You're a fire bunny pouring water.
Okay, that makes it better. So I'm like on fire and I'm like with a carrot. That's all, folks.
You're Bugs Bunny now.
Right. I'm a fucking fire bunny with a pot of water. Fuck that shit.
And so in oxycorn, so you're like a goatfish ox. So be a merble. That'd be great.
I'm fried.
So my other sister is born, or is a rat. Yes, born. She's been born for over 20 years now. So y'all know.
Good. She's not a fetus.
Yes. Oh my God. But we like to tease my mother that she's pregnant on occasion, and she does not appreciate that. Let me tell you.
My sister is a rat, and that sounds so mean to say out of context, but I love rats. I grew up with rats as pets. They make amazing pets. Everyone respect rats. They are adorable and sweet and fluffy, and they are easy to train. But anyway, my sister is a Cancer rat. Oh my gosh, together it's even worse.
Oh, okay, if it makes you feel better, the other word for ram and the one that I see like a lot of more is boar. So my sisters are a boar and a rat.
That does make me feel better. It does.
I love them though. They don't watch my videos though, because my sister says it's really weird too. So I don't have to worry about them seeing this.
My parents watch mine sometimes, but not my sister. But my parents do something. My dad will be like, I saw your interview and it was really interesting, even though I'm not a writer. I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad.
My sister, my middle sister, she says that she'll like mute it and turn it on and just put it in the background of whatever she's doing so that she can still give me a view. And she's like, but it's just too weird to actually watch you. It's fair, I guess.
You're like, I know, because of all the nudity. And she's like, what?
She wouldn't even be surprised.
Right?
That's like when we went to this anime convention. Now, on streams and stuff, y'all see I got a hoodie on and I'll have a blanket and stuff. At conventions, it's not really any different because I've got low blood pressure, borderline anemia. I get cold, DC. And so I'll just like 5 or 6 layers. But my boss always gets us a nice hotel so we can go in the pool after hours. And but my swimsuits they're bikinis, basically. And so one of our coworkers, who is also my sister's friend, she's like teasing my sister when she comes out in like her tankini. It was this tank top that was low cut and like had this little skirt piece, and she's like, "You're naked." And my sister's like, "Oh, wait till you see Sam if you think I'm naked." And then I come out in just like my bikini, and she's like, "Oh my God, Sam, you're naked." And I'm like, "So?" And then our other coworker was like, "I would have never expected you to dress like that." And I'm like, "Y'all, I wear 10 layers because I'm cold. Not 'cause I'm just cold." And they were like,
That is
"Oh."
gray sexual life, where it's like, it's just a body, let it go. Let it go, bitches.
I'm just freezing, okay? I don't care if you see my ass. Well, that's like, because Gabriel's party was, we had a pool party at my mom's, and they're like doing the piñata because my sister made him a piñata, and somebody was taking pictures, and I'm looking through the pictures, and I'm like, oh, somebody's ass cheeks hanging out. Oh, that's my ass cheek. My sister was like, yeah, that's or not my sister, but my sister's friend goes, oh yeah, that's your ass cheek. What, you didn't realize? And I'm like, well, I don't really see my ass.
I don't got eyes over there.
Like, I don't see me from behind. Why would I know it?
Oh, I'm crying. Oh. Okay, I'm okay.
Ponyta. 88. Oh dang. 88's dragon. I know, because Chris is a dragon.
I'm 87. I'm older.
By 1 year.
My dog's nickname is Honey Bunny. Oh, you're a sweet little baby. Her baby is so cute. It's so tiny. It makes Buttercup, who is 7 pounds, look like a fucking dinosaur compared to her dog. Her dog is like a pound. Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah.
And then I just have tiny horses in my house.
Yeah.
Dogs. Like, no lie, my Labrador, we're pretty sure she's got some Dane in her, and she is as big as I am.
I believe it.
And I'm like, Vi, this just ain't gonna work. Yeah, maybe.
Possibly has some bad experience with Taurus, but also they're just fucking stubborn. They're too stubborn for their own good. I'm just calling it how I see it. But I may have had some experiences.
So speaking as somebody who has two Tauruses that they absolutely adore, because my aunt Serena, whom is only 12 years older than me, is also a Taurus. Tauruses can be wonderful people, but they can also. So I was talking to somebody about certain types of friends that you have, and sometimes you just have friends that you know what level of responsibility to expect from them. Mm-hmm. And like, you expect your Taurian friend to forget things, so you remind them a lot. And if it's a good Taurian friend, they'll be like, oh, thank you. I know I'm flighty. I appreciate you reminding me 80 times today. And you're like, cool. But then you have a Taurian friend who's like, why are you reminding me? I'm not going to forget. I'm not going to be late. And then they're late or they don't show up. And you're like,
yup.
Because I know you. That's why. That's why I was texting you 8 times. Because I know you. But then, like, you know, it's just one of those things.
I'm coming from it as a person who, I'm an Aquarius, and one of the worst romantic matches in the Zodiac is an Aquarius and a Taurus. It's like, no, it's not good, okay? And I have dated, huh?
I said I can't imagine you dating a Taurus.
Right? Fucking kill me. So I remember I didn't even date this guy, okay? We didn't even so much go on a date, but we our friends wanted to set us up. I'm just going to summarize, okay? Our friends wanted to set us up, and it was very clear what was going on, and so I started flirting with him. He started flirting with me. This was before Cliff was in the picture. Obviously, this was years ago. And so we started flirting with each other, and people started teasing him for liking me. And he, as a Taurus, got all like in his like ego and pride and was feeling very attacked because people thought he might like me. And so he
I know.
So he confronted me. He confronted me in front of an audience and was like, just so you know, I'm not attracted to you. I don't like you. And I don't know what anyone's talking about. And I was just kind of like, it was in front of an audience. And I was just like, okay. And that was the point where I knew he was attracted to me. I knew he liked me because it's been going on for a long time. But I was just kind of like, if this is how an adult man is going to handle it, I don't want anything to do with it. So I was just like, okay. And I went on with my business. And then he starts puppy dog following me everywhere because he's waiting for me to, you know, like guys, they might nag you and they expect you to throw yourselves on them. It's not how I work. You know, you nag me, then I'm going to peace out. Fuck you. Yeah. So I started, going on with my business, and he was puppy dog following me everywhere, and I did not respond. And then about a week later, I met Cliff, and Cliff was happy to be like, yeah, I like you, and that's fine. And so Cliff's a Gemini, Geminis are great. And so Cliff and I started dating, and this Taurus guy, I'll just call him Taurus guy, he starts getting super jealous, and he starts we worked together, and I would show up to work, and he's like, where have you been? And I'm like, are you my dad? Like, what the fuck is going on? And he would, I remember he said one time, if we didn't work together, I would have you by now. You would be mine. That was engraved in my brain because it sounded like something that came out of fucking Wattpad. Yeah, it was so cheesy and manipulative and horrible. And I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And it just, for me, was further evidence that I dodged a bullet. And so then I started dating Cliff, and this guy just fucking, I don't know, masturbated with his tears. I don't know. All I know is that we didn't end up dating, and he got very territorial whenever we would date. His pride was wounded when it was acknowledged that he liked me. And then when I moved on, he got territorial of the fact that I moved on. It was just so bizarre. And I was just like, I don't have time for this shit.
That is entitled.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know what he's doing right now. I just know the last time I checked on him, he was bald. So
that's all I know. Romance has always been pretty. Starting romance has always been super cut and dry for me. It's these girls in middle school, they kept trying to nag me. They'd be like, oh, well, this guy likes you. This guy likes you. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. I'm friends with every guy in our grade. I would know if they had a crush on me. Mm-hmm. I was also really just accustomed to guys being like, oh, hey, I have a crush on you. And me going, okay, cool. And then 2 days later, they had a crush on another girl. I'm like, I know my status in the guy friend group. Okay, I'm the pretty gamer. All right, let's not, So they're just like, no, he really has a crush on you. So I went up to him in the lunch line, and I was like, yo. And he's like, what? And I'm like, do you got a crush on me? And he went, no. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I just walked away. And they were like, you can't just ask him.
Yes, I can, bitch.
You the bitches trying to fuck with my head. No. And then I've only ever had 2 boyfriends, but both of them, they were like, hey, so I have a crush on you. And I was like, okay, cool. And then a year later, they were like, I still have romantic feelings for you. And I'd be like, wait, say again? Hold on.
Really? I'm listening.
All right, you have my attention now. So that's how you win Sam.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just I can't deal. Like I'm a very straightforward person, and I understand games in the sense of like maybe I called this time, so it's your time to call. Like I understand that kind of shit. I don't understand games in the sense of approaching me in front of an audience and saying I'm not attracted to you. Like to try and like
that's
like. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna try to embarrass me in front of people, then I'm just gonna take your word for it and move on. And that's what I did. And now I am engaged to the man that I moved on with. So I don't know. And now you're bald. So
you did the right thing there. I had a whole different sentence that was so much better, and then my friend saw ox record, and I was like, "What was I gonna sentence?" You moved on to better things.
No, but
great hair,
but the point was signs, and just that Taurus can be a little too stuck on certain, like for example, that Taurus was stuck on their pride, and then they were stuck on ownership. They can get a little too stuck on things, and they can't really go with the flow. And that's fine for some signs. For me, as an Aquarius, I can't deal with that. I need someone who can roll with me, you know. So
also,
I have Taurus friends who are wonderful, but I couldn't date one. Sorry.
Also, one of the more negative traits that some may have is if they fuck up, they don't fuck up. They don't have to acknowledge it. They don't have to apologize. It didn't happen. But if you fuck up, heaven forbid, the earth
you're
has
gonna hear about it. You're gonna hear about it. But when they make a mistake, what are you talking about? Oh no, I just had an off week. It was just bad.
Yeah. Oh, I was just in a mood. Yes, I'm sorry. I was confusing ram with boar, not ram with sheep. That's my bad.
It's similar.
Yeah.
Close.
Pig is 95. Yes, pig is 95. Boar is 95. Virgo, dad and brother Pisces, sister Sag, brother Cancer, and I'm an Aries Taurus cusp. It's wild. I could imagine. A water horse. That's a Kelpie. Oh, excuse me. I'm only drinking tea, by the way. I'm just an extremely gassy individual.
Same here. Same. Totally same.
Our bodies over filter.
Yeah.
Sam, I need that hoodie. Well, funny thing about it, I think it was this hoodie, or it might have been my green one. One of them was bought as a birthday present. The other one, my best friend's sister bought him the hoodie on an Asian website, and the first size that came in was too small, so she bought him the biggest size. Well, he's 6 foot or 6'3", I forget which, and the biggest size was still too small. So he just sent it to me, and he was like, "Sam will appreciate this." So I got a free hoodie for his birthday because it didn't.
Nice.
And I was just like, "This is the largest. I'm only 5'4", and this is the largest I had."
It's mine now, bitch.
Right. People speaking about their zodiac. Tiny horses, I tell you, all the more to love. It's only a problem when they want to like cuddle with you when you're doing things, because then you can't move. Well,
I can totally relate. My dog is enormous.
Yes. My bestie gave me 2 swimsuits. They're low cut. I probably wouldn't have bought it for myself. Always having self-esteem issues, but I showed them the joint, and he was like, "Oh, hello, that felt good." Husbands are good for that.
Let the girlies show, man. Own it.
I kept teasing Chris because he likes when I wear low-cut things, but I don't particularly enjoy wearing low-cut things because, one, I'd never feel supportive. Two, I'm like, there's nothing to show. Like, what is the point here? And he'll be like, there's something to show. There's something for me to see. And I'm like, but
It's funny because I'm like the reverse for the same reasons, in the sense that I have no problem with low cut because there's nothing to see. I'm like, this is the itty bitty titty committee, and there's nothing going on here. Get a show of my rib cage, woohoo! Like I don't mind showing it because there's nothing to see. And then Cliff will be like, well, there's something to see. I'm like, but is there, Cliff? Is there really?
Like, but is there really?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm glad you think there is.
Right.
They're dumb. That's those people.
Yeah.
Oh God, guys at conventions can be so the worst. Like they think that just because you dress up as the character that they are attracted to, that they can like say or do things, and it's like,
Right.
sir,
Oh.
I'm a real person, not your spank bank material. The only things I get stuck on is when people wrong me, and when I fuck up, I'm always like, well, it looks like I gotta punish myself and not eat for a week because I'm a trash person.
Don't do that.
That's
That
not
doesn't
good.
solve anything.
It does not. That's called shit, what's it called?
I don't know.
That's a self-blaming
Self-sabotage?
possibly. I don't
Maybe.
remember,
Who knows?
but feed yourself. Eat. It's important.
Right.
Food is life. Husbands are good for that. Meanwhile, I'm single as fuck and can't seem to keep a guy longer than 6 months. Well, I don't know.
If you have to like time it, that means as you know, you need a person that you just connect with. You just connect and you get along, and you don't have to like time it and feel like I'm keeping him. If you have to feel like that, then it's not worth it. You need to find someone that you just vibe with and feel like they're your best friend, and you guys are just getting along in that way. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. And it's better to run.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I agree. It is better to stay single than to be with the wrong person.
Yep. To you know, shackle yourself to someone who's just going to drag you down. Nope.
That's like when the pandemic hit and I started seeing those memes and stuff about people who were like tired of their spouse, or who they're like, oh, can we just stop? And I'm like, excuse you, I'm having the time of my life. My husband.
If you are like that, for me was like shocking and like distressing. Like if you are stuck with this person in a room and you are and you are not enjoying yourself with them, that should be, if anything, a wake-up call. Like maybe this relationship isn't what you thought it was. Because as a caregiver with a partner who you know, is disabled to the point where he can't leave the house much, we are together all the time and I enjoy my time with him. So it's like seeing these people who are like, oh my gosh, I just want my partner to leave. I'm just like, that might be something to assess.
Like, maybe you should speak with your partner about your relationship, because some changes may have to occur.
Right?
But all right, so well, we have been up for 3.5 hours, which is about an hour, just a hoof more. That's about an hour longer than normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. For everybody who's still here, Jenna, I got the right side. Please let them know.
Let them know what? About me?
Yeah, who you is. It's the
who I
ending outro intro. Ta-da.
Okay, cool. My name is Jenna Moreci, also pronounced Jenna Moreci. And you can follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/Jenna Moreci, Moreci, where I give writing and publishing advice, as well as a healthy dose of sarcasm and dick jokes. So if you're cool with that, which if you've been here, you should probably be cool with it because we've been doing it the whole time. I am also a sci-fi and dark fantasy author. My upcoming dark fantasy companion novel, The Savior Sister, is coming out on September 29th I've got a massive pre-sale going on, as well as a pre-sale giveaway. If you enter my pre-sale giveaway, you will get the 5-chapter teaser of TSS, and you will be eligible to win over 35 prizes. It's pretty awesome. You should enter. I'm just saying.
Do it. I think I have links below, and if not, they'll be added. So, I am Writing Mom Samantha L. Nasset. This be my channel. I talk about writer stuff, parent stuff, and writer-parent stuff, and occasionally just random ass things. I do my live streams every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, will be a bonus video at some point as soon as I can edit it with me and Chris celebrating 100 subs. So, hey, look forward to that.
Yeah.
And I will see y'all hopefully next week. Bye. Oh, wait, I'm being reminded. By the way, my newsletter should be going out this week. So if you're not signed up for my newsletter, you can at my website, samanthallnasset.com.
I'm signed up. Are you signed up? If you're not cool. And I'm saying it right now.
I appreciate the love. Right. Night.
Bye.
Find the camera.